Carmelo Hayes tonight. We have also got a few other little bits and bobs. So we have also got Noam Dar defending against a member of No Quarter Catch Crew. We don't know what member yet. It's going to be against one of those. Kelani Jordan, my girl, she's going to be taking on Kiana James. Roxanne Perez is going to be in action against the Metaphors Jakara Jackson. And we've also got Von Wagner taking on Lexis King. So, yeah, we've got a few bits lined up for tonight, which should be fun. Looking forward to the show. The other thing we've got as well is, of course, Tatum Paxley is going to be getting her gift from Lyra Valkyria. Don't know what that gift is going to be, but she's been very excited all week about getting her gift. So we'll see what it is that she receives. So we've got that coming up as well. Oh, this is all a bit wobbly. I've got a few dramas. There we go. Fixed it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Right, let's jump into the chat, and then we'll jump into... I'll jump into the super chats, and then we'll jump into the chat. Michael said, good evening, Days. Have a great show. Michael, appreciate the support, Zeus. Hope you've had a good day. And King Yeti said, we're going to need to change the thumbnail. Tiffany time is on it. She's moved to SmackDown. King Yeti, thank you. Hope you've had a good day as well, King Yeti. Appreciate the support, and I appreciate everyone that's joining us as we are working our way towards the show. How long have we got? We got 42 minutes. 42 minutes coming up. So, yeah, I'm talking of changing things. I haven't had a chance to change this yet. I was hoping to get it done today, but coming off of the weekend as busy as Elimination Chamber, I've got a jobs list as long as my arm that I need to try and get done still. But yeah, I mean, Elimination Chamber weekend was amazing. Obviously, we've coming out of that. We're well on the road to WrestleMania now. The unseen videos, again, a big thank you for all the support on those as well. So yeah, there's just a lot going on at the moment. So busy, busy, busy. So Michael, King Yeti, thank you very much. Hope you are ready for what should be a very fun evening. Kian says, Days, hope you're well, having a good stream. How was your weekend? Busy. Looking forward to NXT tonight. Enjoyed the unseen videos. Thank you. Have you heard that Drew has re-signed? Yes and no. Because it's also being reported that he hasn't. So apparently Better Wrestling Experience came out and said he had. And then we had, I think it was the Mail came out and said he hadn't. And actually WrestleMania, it's going to be an unseen later, WrestleMania deleted their post that Drew had re-signed and apologized for saying, like, sorry if anyone, like, you know, was misled. We went with what Better Wrestling Experience had said, and word on the street is that might not be accurate. So everyone's jumped onto that Better Wrestling Experience story, but there is actually a counter story that seems to have come out now. So I don't know what the truth is. So I know it's everywhere. Everyone's using the exact same source, but there are some question marks around that statement. So I have not seen the latest. I don't know if anyone else has come out and said no, he has, or no, he hasn't, or where we are with it. All I know is Better Wrestling Experience earlier today said, or late last night said he had, and now we've got a rival source saying he hasn't. So I don't know what the truth actually is. Brony said PW Insider have said that Drew hasn't signed. Better Wrestling Experience have said that he has, right? So I saw it was like the Mail that had come out, the Daily Mail or someone had come out and said that he hadn't. So I'm guessing they must have got it from PW Insider. So we've got this kind of, I don't know what the truth is at the moment. Christopher said, thoughts on Tama Tonga coming to WWE? Will we see him with the Good Bros? I don't think there's been much doubt about Tama Tonga coming in, to be honest. We've spoken for a couple of weeks about Tama Tonga. I think that that's a good sign-in. He is getting on a little bit. I think he's in his early 40s. So if you're going to do something with him, you've got to go now. You've got to move now. Whatever you've got planned, you've got to go now. Unless he's just going to be a bit part player, you know. I think you bring him into NXT just to get him used to the American way, just to get him used to the culture, the expectation. I mean, New Japan runs very different to WWE. You've got to communicate those changes, you know. But he doesn't need to learn how to wrestle. But I think, yeah, put him in with the Bullet Club, and let's see what we can do. I mean, him in like a bit of a faction with them could be very, very interesting. I mean, we could get some really fun couple of years out of him. I mean, I think, let me double check. Is he like, in my head, he's about 41, Tama Tonga. He's 41. So, I mean, he's in the back end of his career, very much so, but it shouldn't be. I don't know how old AJ was when he first came in. I think he was in his late 30s. So I think Tama Tonga is, you know, definitely in the back end of his career, but it shouldn't mean that we haven't got a good few years with him. You know, maybe even like 5 years. We might even be able to get 5 years out of him. But good signing. Very excited. Think he'll be great with the Good Brothers. And could he be the vignette? It would make sense that he was the vignette that has been getting shown on NXT. So if that is who the vignette is, then brilliant. Exciting. So yeah, good. Positive news. As we said, maybe not the biggest surprise because he was living in Florida and his family have moved there and he had talks with WWE. And it had been like sort of reported that he was on his way to WWE. So, but a good signing. That's the kind of name that you could have seen going to AEW. Like, easily could have seen him going there. I mean, a lot of New Japan people seem to be going there. So him going over to AEW, you know, that absolutely could have been a possibility. But no, good. Let's go. Let's see what we can do with him. Michael said, is Liv turning heel? I don't know if she's turning heel, but she's definitely getting an edge, you know? I don't think she's turning heel because she's got such a young demo, such a young fan base, that for her to turn heel and sort of abandon that fan base is her really abandoning her core. You know, that'd be a hell of a risk. But we have taken that risk before with Bayley, of course. Bayley was very much aimed at a younger demographic. She turned her back on them, and it worked out all right for her. But, I don't know, Liv, I think she's just getting a bit of an edge. I think she's just kind of standing up for herself, you know? I think she just is hell-bent on this revenge tour, and she's not going to allow anyone to kind of get in her way. And neither should she. She lost against Nia Jax by DQ. She should not be pleased about that whatsoever. That should really frustrate her and upset her. So I like the fact that she called out Becky and said it's not always about you. Maybe it's going to be a little bit like Drew. But Drew takes it too far, doesn't he? I mean, he is absolutely loving CM Punk's injury and making T-shirts out of it, making memes out of it. Drew is having the time of his life. I don't know that we'll see Liv going that far or doing anything along those lines. But, yeah, it's interesting. I don't think that she's turning heel. I just think she's getting a bit of an edge. James said, Daze, latest Giulia rumours is that she's going to join the new Rossi promotion. I did see that. The streets are saying that might only be a short-term deal. She might be going there short term to help him set that promotion up and kind of get established, and then she will find her way to WWE. Obviously, we don't know what the situation is with that, but that's what the streets are saying. But yeah, I did see that she is on her way seemingly to help him out. I hope she makes her way to WWE eventually. I'd be really disappointed if she didn't. I think there's money, big money for her to be made, but you could understand why she wants to do right by the person that, you know, brought her to the dance, the person that really got the spotlight shown on her. So you can understand her thinking on that. So, but yeah, I'd love to see her come over to WWE. I'd love to see her come over to WWE. So I hope we do still get that, but looks like it's not going to be at the moment. Certainly doesn't look like this vignette is her. King Yeti, appreciate the support, buds. King Yeti firing in some memberships for the community, and the community responding, I'm sure. Very, very grateful as well for King Yeti. So look at this, lots of appreciation being shown to King Yeti. So appreciate it, dude. I hope you've had a good day. Jedam said, I swear people forget wrestlers don't always need to turn heel. They can stay faces. They can. Brony, shout out to you. Oh, I think we're doing pretty good here of like catching up. Trini said, I'm over the Liv conversation. She's a cute girl. She's good in ring and on the mic, but she's not amazing the way the fans are pushing that she is. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting one. I think she's got her fans that are kind of pushing her, as you would expect them to. I think a lot of other people have just sort of watched her. She's told us to do that. Have just sort of watched her. I don't think they found her offensive in any way. I think she's sort of been there and she's been in the mix and she hasn't really done anything to offend. But she hasn't really done anything to like really win the masses over either. So, you know, as we said, there was this We Want Liv movement. I think it got to about 8,000 posts and then it sort of settled back down again. So I don't know. She's someone that's in the mix. She's someone that still feels like something is missing. We've spoken a lot about her presentation potentially not being right. I mean, it's not right for me, but I already know there'll be people in the community going, what are you on about? It's perfect. She's perfect. Nothing needs to change. But, you know, you can only be honest, can't you? I can only be honest in saying I don't like her music. I don't like her graphics. I don't like the watch me catchphrase. There's plenty about her that I would change. But, yeah, I mean, she's clearly got fans. So we'll see. We'll see what the plans are. They've clearly got some big line for her because she's in the mix. You know, she gets down to the final couple at the Rumble. She's in the mix at Elimination Chamber. Now she's going off on Becky. So I think if you are a Liv stan, I think you're going to be okay. I think that she's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. I think she is going to get something to get her teeth into at WrestleMania. Daze, what do you rate the show tonight? We haven't had it, but it's hard to rate the show that we have not had. It's very difficult. So I'm looking forward to it, you know. I would say, though, that if we look at the show scores, and I don't have them to hand, but if we did look at the show scores, which I always put this information in the opinions video. So if ever you want to watch or like get information on matches and show scores, it's in the opinions video. You can just skip the opinions if you don't want to engage with that and just go like use the timestamps and you can just go straight to the match info and the show info. I think this is really interesting stuff. I'll bring it up on screen. So here's the spreadsheet that I use. This is every match from Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Royal Rumble, NXT Vengeance Day, like the Elimination Chamber, like the premium live events. It's everything in here. These are all the matches scored and ranked based on your feedback, right? So they've all gone into this spreadsheet. And what it allows me to do is I can filter it down. So I can just search by date. So if I click the Raw date, then boom, there we go. It just brings up the matches from Raw this week. So I can see that Imperium New Day, that was the top rated match by you guys yesterday. It went into the great category. Every other match was good, okay to good. And you can see that these are ranked as well. So Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, 83%. Raquel, 87%. Nia Jax, 89%. Cody Rhodes beating Grayson Waller, 94%. Sami Zayn, Shinsuke just missing out on getting into the great. It's still got 98% good, though. I mean, it's right on the edge of flipping into great. but it did come out as real top end good. But yeah, so like all of this information goes into those opinion videos, and I'll keep this updated. So, you know, we'll do the next opinion video after SmackDown, and that'll have the information in it from from NXT and SmackDown. So we can have a look at that. But what I wanted to look at was not this, actually. I wanted to look at the shows. So if we look at the shows, that red line is where Raw is currently going in. But if we look at the bottom here, so if we look at like this segment here, look at how many NXTs are in that. Look at how many NXTs are in that. So, like, that's from 2024, 2023, 2024, 2024, 2024, 2024, 2024, 2024, 2024. I feel like the vast majority of 2024 NXTs keep going in towards the bottom of this list. So, you know, when we talk about NXT maybe being in a little bit of a slump, we are sort of doing that from a place of, you know, a fact, from a place of data. We're not just kind of going off a gut feeling, because you lot scored the Raws, the SmackDowns, you scored the shows, and the data shows that, you know, this cluster down here, look at all these NXTs, they are the worst received shows that we watch. So NXT is in a little bit of a struggle at the moment. But this week actually looks like it's got a few bits about it that should be pretty fun. I'm not down on this week, to be honest. The card looks pretty fun. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Tatum and Lyra. I think the women's division's in a great place. You know, I really like Kelani Jordan. She's on the show tonight. We've got a Heritage Cup match, which are always pretty entertaining. Ilja and Carmelo being face to face should provide some talking points. So, yeah, there's a few bits tonight, which I think might not be bad, but it might still end up that the show ends up going down here, because this is where NXT seems to be at the moment. There is the odd one that goes up here. I did see, in fact, is there? Because actually, that NXT is 2023. That's 2023. That's 2023. Is there any high 20? No, there isn't. Oh, that's not a good sign, is it? Although, look how high Vengeance Day got. Vengeance Day got all the way up there. It is the 6th best show that we've watched since we've been rating. So NXT Vengeance Day went up there. Just ahead of it was No Mercy from last year. So those are the two NXT shows that are flying the flag. But just having a quick scan down, it looks like all of the 2024 NXTs are in this clump at the bottom. That's where all of the NXTs are. So, yeah, not a great sign, not a great time at the moment for NXT, but surely at some point they're going to turn that around. And does that start tonight? Is that going to be tonight? So, as we said, you know, Roxanne taking on Jakara. Should be fun. I like Roxanne's new attitude. Kelani Jordan, that's my girl. Absolutely love Kelani Jordan. Von Wagner against Lexis King. Noam Dar against a member of No Quarter Catch Crew. Heritage Cup matches always seem to bring it. And Ilja Dragunov against Carmelo Hayes. They're face to face in what should be a fun little segment. So, as we said, you know, I think there's a few bits that are going to be on tonight. Kashawn said, do you think there's a possibility of Seth Rollins turning on Cody when Seth loses his world championship to Drew at WrestleMania 40? Is there a chance of that? There's a chance of it. I don't think it will happen, but there's a chance of it. I wouldn't say it's the most likely outcome. I mean, there's a lot of different directions that you can go. That's not one that I would personally go. I wouldn't go with having Seth, because I have no interest in doing a Seth Cody feud, because we've already done it. And I have no interest in going back to that. And that's what you would be starting. That's what you would be setting up if you did that, is another Seth Cody feud for the summer. And I don't need that. I don't think you need that. I don't need that. We had 3 matches before, you know? So I don't need that. So, yeah, I am going to lean towards no. I don't think that it'll go that way. But it could. It absolutely could. Trini said, I'm not sure that the standard of shows have gone down or if our standards went up. Daze, NXT is missing a trick. Well, I don't know if our standards went up because that is in comparison to the other shows. So what that list is telling us is that, and don't forget, you lot I don't think you think about previous week's NXTs when you're voting. So I don't think when you go to put in your vote at the end of the stream, I don't think you're necessarily thinking about previous weeks. So to me, it's very interesting that all of those are in around the same area. I always love that about the data that we collect, because it's not just random and show, it's not like we can't see any patterns. It's not like we can't see anything interesting in the data. Like, we're getting this data back, which we should have been doing for years, but we're getting this data back and we are starting to see some very, very interesting patterns. And I would say that's one of the most interesting, is the fact that all that NXT stuff is like gathered together at the bottom. So I don't know that we can say that it is a bad show, right? I don't think we're going that far, but I think what I can say quite confidently is that as a community, at least, we are getting and seemingly appreciating Raw and SmackDown a lot more, because those shows are going up a lot higher in that list. So it will be very interesting to see where NXT comes out this week. But again, what I would urge is that when you do vote at the end, don't think about like what we've been discussing. I know that might be difficult, but this will only work if you give your honest thought about the show that you have seen. Don't think about, I'm going to vote it a bit better so it gets higher up. That'd be horrible if we were starting to, if that list was starting to influence your scoring. Don't think about it. Just think about the show, think about what you got, and think about your honest thoughts about the show. Because I think this data is so interesting. Really, really good. And I just want to keep getting this honest feedback. And we'll see kind of, where we are as we get to the halfway point, as we get to the end of the year. I think the match data is really interesting. I mean, according to that match data, the best match so far this year is Nia Jax Becky Lynch, which, as I keep saying, and I think I'll keep saying it, is if we were to regrade it, I don't know that it would be that high. I think that was the very first match of the year on the very first Raw, day one Raw, which I think was on New Year's Day. And it was the very first match. It was the first time we were doing this new system. And I think that, we weren't quite in the rhythm, in the groove that we are in now. And I think if we were to rewatch it, I've no doubt that it would still be up there, because it was a good match and a surprise winner, which I really appreciated. But I think that it would come out a little different. So if we do take that into consideration and say that it's actually not the top match, it means that Ilja Dragunov against Trick Williams is the top match so far this year. Second was the Lyra Valkyria match against Roxanne Perez when Lola Vice cashed in on the same show. Vengeance Day, I believe. So those two are the top two matches of the year so far. And you know what? I really think I would agree with it. I really think I would agree. I think if I could choose the top two matches, I think I'd go with those. And if my memory serves me right, I think it's Judgment Day against DIY that's number 3. And then I think it's Bayley winning the Rumble at 4. I don't know. 3 is a bit tricky, to be honest. There's a few matches that are in the running for that third spot. But the top 2, I would agree with. Maybe my third might be the Nia Becky one, actually. If we take that from the top and move it down the list a little bit more, maybe it would just slip in there. I did enjoy the Women's Rumble, though. I mean, we did get Jordan Grace, and we did get the return of Naomi, and we did get the Jade Cargill moment, and Bayley winning is awesome because she definitely deserved it. And there was like R-Truth coming down, getting confused during that. I mean, it did have quite a bit to it, that Women's Rumble, but equally, there was a long period where it was like, here's Michin, here's Zelina Vega, here's Zoe Stark, here's Shayna Baszler, you know, here's a load of women which we haven't really done a great deal with recently, and just sort of feel like they're mid-card at best, you know? That happens instead, you know? But that all to one side, you know, it was still really good. I really enjoyed it, and I think it deserves to be up there. I think, if I remember correctly, the Women's Rumble came out ahead of the Women's Elimination Chamber. I should double check that. Because that's a tricky one, innit? Which was better? I feel like a lot of people would say that the Women's Elimination Chamber was better, because it was fast-paced, there was loads of spots, Tiffany Stratton looked amazing. I think they're really close. Let's have a look. We'll look together. Let's get rid of... Let's do that. Let's go up. So, Bayley. Yeah, look at that. They are really close. So, Becky Lynch. What number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bayley winning the Rumble is 5th best match of the year, and Becky winning the Chamber is 7th. There's only this Ivy Nile Rhea Ripley match in between, right? There's only that Ivy Nile Rhea Ripley match in between, but those two there, that's the Rumble, that's the Chamber. So they're really close. Really close, actually. If you look, Becky Lynch winning the Chamber, 73%. Bayley winning the Rumble, 75%. I mean, it's got to be a couple of votes, if that. It's got to be a couple of votes. That'll be a hotly debated one as to which one was better. I would think more people might lean to the Chamber, actually, but that could be recency bias, couldn't it? That could be because we only watched it a few days ago, and the Rumble was good. So, and I was right. Ilja Dragunov, Trick Williams. Then it's Lyra against Roxanne. Then it's Judgment Day DIY. Man, could you imagine if I start to memorize this list? Then we've got the Bayley one. Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile. Trick Williams, Grayson Waller is right up there as well. Gunther, Jey Uso. That was very well received. Some really good ones. Some really good stuff on here, and yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, if you want to like see that list, we're probably not going to keep talking about it on the streams because it might just get in the way a little bit if we start like, you know, getting distracted by breaking that data down and whatever. But we can certainly be looking at it in the opinion videos, and it makes sense to do it there because obviously we want to know how the matches have scored from Raw and how they've scored from SmackDown. So I love the opinion videos for that, and also I think there's some really good thoughts that come out of those opinion videos. So the one for Raw went up earlier today. The next one, as we said, we will do for SmackDown, and there isn't a show this weekend, is there? Well, AEW Revolution, but we're not doing that. Our friend Tommy Toy Travels is doing that one. So if you are interested in that, go and check out Tommy's channel. But Daze, I would like to see Gunther versus Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania, says Connor. I'd like that as well. That'd be good. Certainly if it was for the world title, that'd be good. Spurs Gamer said, Daze, what do you think will happen in the Lyra Tatum segment? Personally, this is one of my favorite storylines. Well, she's going to give her a gift. I mean, I would imagine that it'll be a signed picture of maybe them together. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be a picture because Tatum loves Lyra for some unknown reason. Not that she's a bad person or anything, but it's just kind of come out of nowhere. But anyway, what would you get someone like that? Well, a picture of you two together, framed, maybe signed. You know, I'd imagine she'd really appreciate that. I mean, it could be pervy. She could give us like some of her pants. I wouldn't go down that road. That's a bit pervy, isn't it? So a signed picture of them two together is what I'm thinking. But yeah, I don't know. I would imagine that what Lyra's going to try and do is use this as an opportunity to say, look, I've really appreciated your support, but I think we need to go on our different paths. And just as she's saying that, I've no doubt that someone's going to interfere, someone's going to attack. And it's going to mean that Tatum's going to still be sticking around, you know? So, yeah. Maybe it's one of those where Tatum starts to walk away and then someone attacks and then she's kind of like, she's just been told to go. Leave me alone. And she's sort of like, do I go back? Do I not go back? She told me not to interfere, but, you know, I love her. And so then she goes racing back and helps. I don't know who it would be that would attack, but I'm guessing it'll be something along those lines. That's what I'd be thinking. That's what I'd be going in expecting. If we get anything different to that, then lovely. Because I'd be thinking something along those lines. But I agree. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's just a bit strange. And it is strange, but... I don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. It's a bit weird. I think Tatum can go a bit OTT with it, but I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those where there's nothing happening there's nothing happening there that I'm finding offensive. Like, I don't get why she's infatuated with her. I don't know if she's always been infatuated and now she's just showing it. I don't know where it's come from. It would have been probably nice to have found that out. But if you look past that bit, I can sort of vibe with it. I can go with it. Eric said, I think the fact that Paul has 2 phones is going to cause friction in the bloodline. Egos matter. King Yeti said, it might slip in there. That's what she said. Spurs Gamer, shout out to you. Oh, we answered that one. Inside Out and again said, I think they have sent R-Truth down to the Women's Royal Rumble because of the crowd reaction. Oh, yeah. I mean, they, you know, I did worry, and I am worrying again a little bit that, you know, what we're doing with him is maybe a bit OTT in the sense of, you know, he's constantly getting confused. That's what we're doing with him. He gets confused, right? I think that the Australia thing, that was fine. He then did it with San Francisco and San Jose. Then obviously he's getting confused with DX and Regeneration X. And it's like, it's tricky because, like, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want it to, like, sort of outstay its welcome or stop being funny. I think it's still fine right now, you know. There might be the odd person that's like, yeah, nah, I've had a bit of too much of it already. I've no doubt there'll be the odd person that feels that way, but I think the masses are still very much on board. But I do think with R-Truth, you've just got to be a little bit careful because people love him and they are really enjoying what he's doing, but equally, I do also think this is the kind of thing that can outstay its welcome. This is the kind of thing that can get overdone. So I would just really, really try to not overdo it and make sure that when he does do it, it really does count. So I think that the women's one was great. It's difficult because the women's one was really good, but I would argue the men's one was better. Him coming down thinking that he's in the women's rumble is fine. I don't know if we've seen that before, to be honest, but it's fine. But I don't remember ever seeing anyone come down to a rumble trying to tag in. Just getting, like, I think getting confused thinking that the women's rumble is the men's rumble, you can sort of understand that. Him coming down thinking it's a tag match, I mean, that is so bizarre. That's bizarre. Like, that one is, like, that's out there. I like that one more, actually. I like that one more because that one's a little bit more creative. Him just confusing the women's for the men's is, yeah, fine, you know. But him thinking for some reason that it's a tag match and that he can get tagged in and, like, everyone being confused. I think I preferred that one, to be honest. But yeah, they ended up doing 2, and they did loads of others during Royal Rumble. So maybe just something to keep an eye on so that it doesn't kind of outstay its welcome. Daze, when and how quick would we pull the trigger on Tiffany becoming champion, says James. I honestly, I'm all in. If I was in the creative team, I would just be listening to what people had to say. Because she's a heel, it makes a big difference. If she was a baby face, I think the money is in the chase. Like, the money is in her, like, trying to become champion because she's a babyface trying to climb that mountain. With a heel, it shouldn't be as difficult for a heel to get to a title because they can cheat. They can cheat. They can take shortcuts. They can cheat the baby faces, and they can get there a lot quicker. So I would say, for me, you can put anything on the table and I would listen. I mean, I think that her winning a title at this WrestleMania might be a bit soon. I think we spoke the other day, didn't we? And I think it was James, actually, that came up with the idea of her facing a legend, and I love that idea. Love it. I think it's perfect for her because it gets her into a big showcase match. She can beat someone the fans love that's a legend. It gets a legend onto the show. And it's a big name for her to beat because we were struggling with the fact that if she faces Bianca, I'm fairly certain that Bianca will win that match. And there is something about that which I just don't like at the moment. I think that Tiffany is in such an interesting position because the crowd are with her, and I think they would support her over Bianca. I really think the crowd would be with Tiffany Stratton instead of Bianca. And I just don't think that's a fun spot for Bianca to be in. I think Bianca could be booed if she beats Tiffany Stratton. And that can't be a fun reaction that you want at WrestleMania. So that just does not feel right to me. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right that Tiffany loses. It doesn't feel right that we boo Bianca. So her going in there against Mickie James and beating Mickie James, I just love everything about that. I don't know how the crowd would react to Mickie James because we don't see her very often. So I sort of feel like the crowd wouldn't want to be disrespectful to Mickie. Plus also the fact that Mickey's not winning means the crowd aren't really going to be turning on her. I don't think the crowd would start booing until Mickie beat Tiffany Stratton. Then I think they may start booing, but until that happened, I think that they would be respectful. I think there would be Tiffany chants. I think there'd be Tiffy time signs, but I don't think they would boo Mickie unless she beat Tiffany. And as we said, if we were booking that match, she wouldn't beat Tiffany. Tiffany would win. So I love everything about that. So I wouldn't have her winning a title at WrestleMania, but if her trajectory is going to be as steep as what we've just seen. Like, if she is going to keep having matches, keep killing it, like, I don't know, if you could look at SummerSlam. You really could look at SummerSlam. It would depend who the champion is, but let's say Rhea gets past Becky at WrestleMania. I don't know what brand Tiffany's on, to be honest, but I'm guessing it's SmackDown. But if you was to have Rhea beat Becky, and then you had Liv beat Rhea, and Liv was the new champion, Tiffany would be a perfect person to get that belt off Liv. Tiffany beating Liv for the title, I'd have no issue with that whatsoever. As long as Liv had a good little run with it, you know? If Liv wins it in France, and then has a run with it till SummerSlam, and then Tiffany wins it at SummerSlam, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Or Tiffany could win it in Saudi Arabia. Or, you know, whatever. But as I said, I actually don't know what brand Tiffany's on. She's probably on SmackDown, and then we'd have to work a different way. But I don't know, maybe Bayley gets the title off of Io, and then Tiffany gets it off Bayley. So you could do that as well. Tiffany versus Bayley for the championship, Tiffany winning. I don't actually like that as much. I do like the Liv Tiffany match a lot more. I think it's because Bayley probably feels like such a big star. Bayley feels like she's one of the 4 horsewomen. It feels like Tiffany beating Bayley, that feels like a bit of an ask. Her beating Liv, because Liv's not on that level. She's not on a Bayley level. That feels a lot more realistic. So actually, Tiffany beating Liv, I do prefer that one, to be honest. But anyway, it probably won't go that way. We're not in any mad rush. She's only 24, so we're not in any sort of mad rush. But I think the point I'm making is that she can go in ring. That's never been doubted. The only thing that I've ever doubted about her is her live mic skills. It's the only thing I've ever doubted. And we hopefully are working on that as we speak. And hopefully she's coming down to the ring at house shows and being able to talk. Hopefully she'll get time on, like, you know, whatever show she's on, them get time to talk. Hopefully, like, you know, that she's getting the feedback that she needs to make the improvements that she needs. But none of that improvement is in ring. Her selling, her moveset, her agility, her, you know, everything about her is just really, really good. The flow of her matches, you know, she can go from move to move to move. It's not clunky. She's not like stopping and stalling as she's trying to get into the next one. There might be a problem with how hard she lays the moves in. That might be a problem. We spoke about that just on the Wrestling Escape Pods. There could be an issue with, like, when she lands her drop kicks, when she lands double knees, when she delivers like shots that she seems to connect quite hard. And I really think that is helping her, because I think people are looking at it going, oh, God, she's not, you know, she looks fabulous, but she's also laying the shots in. Like, this is a girl that can kick ass, and it's working to her benefit. So I would not change what she's doing, but she is maybe towing a line where if she is kind of really throwing it in, any little miscommunication, any little misstep, that could catch. Rather than, say, the drop kick catching on the chest, it could easily catch on the mouth or the nose. And then you've got a busted jaw, you've got a busted lip, you've got a busted nose. And then you do run the risk of people saying that she's reckless and people saying that she botches. And, you know, because she's not just tippy-toeing around and just, like, you know, laying it in and it looking lame. She's laying it in, and it looks so much better as a result. This is why I love Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa, when she lays it in, she lays it in, and it looks good as well. She makes it look really good. And Tiffany Stratton doing the exact same thing. So I really am excited about Tiffany. I think that there are some things that need working on. There isn't a rush. There is no need, like, there is no fire. I think just let it play out however the story's going to play out. I think it's one of those where you look at your plans, you look at who's champ, you look at who you've got lined up, you look at what the future, you know, the landscape, how the landscape looks, and you just go with it. You just literally go with whoever you feel is the right person at that time. It might just not be Tiffy time, even though everyone is saying it is Tiffy time. It might be Liv time. It might be Zoe Stark time. It might be Raquel Rodriguez time. But I've no doubt that Tiffy time is on the way at some point very, very soon, because she has absolutely killed it, hasn't she? It's been a meteoric rise for her. It really has. For her to come up and be on the roster as short as what she's been, and for her to have the impact that she's had, it is incredible. PS3 Mason said, Daze, who do you think will face Gunther? Do you think they'll do a tournament? And let's be honest, Liv versus Rhea just isn't a WrestleMania main event. Rhea Becky is spot on. I don't disagree. I'm not someone that flies the flag for Liv. I never have been. If anything, I actively was, you know, not a hater, but I was someone that was quite outspoken with saying she's not ready for the main roster when she first got called up. My position on that has changed. I think she is a main roster talent now. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not someone that will ever campaign for Liv. Well, can't say that. I mean, she might get really good, but at the moment, there is a barrier there. There is something that does not quite appeal to me. But then I am not her demo, am I? I think we have to understand that there are wrestlers in this world that don't cater to you and that aren't for you. And I think Liv is very much in that category for me. She is not someone that's meant to appeal to me. And she's there for the little girls in the crowds. You know, you could absolutely see Liv selling Lily dolls. Absolutely, you could. If she had a little doll range herself, you could absolutely see her selling that kind of an item. So, to me, she is someone that there's a place for her. I think she deserves better than what she's getting. She doesn't deserve to always be the bridesmaid. But yeah, I mean, it's undeniable that Rhea versus Becky is a bigger match than Liv versus Rhea. That's definite. I completely agree. I never needed you at all. What do I think they'll do with Gunther? I think it's a little bit difficult because I think there's a lot of challenges, and I love the idea. Triple H's thoughts. If you saw Unseen, I included an idea from Triple H's thoughts because I loved it. You do a ladder match night 1, and the winner faces Gunther night 2. Boom. Lovely. So, you know, you have all these people trying to win. You have Chad Gable win the ladder match, and then maybe Chad Gable goes on to face on night 2. Right, we are live with NXT, and it is Ilja Dragunov. Ilja is in the ring. Let's see what Ilja has got to say. Let's go. He's all kinds of fired up. That kid's... He's always there in the crowd, man. Have you noticed that ginger haired kid? I see him week after week after week. God bless him. Look, I think he's with his mates. They've all got replica belts. I want them to change that belt as well. Ilja looks really classy in a suit, and then he's got this brightly coloured belt on his shoulder, which I'm just not really a fan of. Here's Carmelo. Christopher said, I saw Tiffany in person at the Chamber. She is a badass, and she is very over. Definitely could be champion this year, says Christopher. Christopher, I hope you had a great time, but hope you had a great... The crowd were fantastic for Elimination Chamber. The crowd was so good. Came across really well. So, oh, hello, look at all these security guards, man. Carmelo's come out. He looks great in this white sort of tracksuit that he's wearing. We've got security guards. No doubt a lot of them will be pointing at in the future. Look at you. You're still peed off that I used you, said Carmelo. You're so honourable with your integrity. You make me sick, says Carmelo. Shut the F up, chants from the crowds. I can tell that you're spiteful, says Carmelo. So Carmelo in the entranceway, Ilja in the ring. We've got a line of security guards. Perhaps they're suspended New York City cops. I know you're not the type to try and take me out before the match, says Carmelo. Carmelo said he's going to give Ilja till the end of the night. Well, hang on. The security guards are coming. Oh, spinning back fist there. The security guards have... What are they doing? They're circling round Carmelo. The security guards started backing up, and they just... A couple of them got walloped. The rest of them went into a defensive position. They circled around Carmelo. Oh, hello, what's this? Oh, here's Ava. Ava is with Gigi. Is that her office? Oh, who's in the office? Is that Jada Parker? Jada wants to talk about her future as well. So we got Gigi and we've got Jada. Are they having a match? They're in a match, aren't they? Tell you what, they really like this Jada girl, don't they? Yeah, World Star. Last time I checked, World Star never mentioned your name. We are talking about World Star. You've just mentioned them twice. Ava tells Jada to get out of the office. It is going to be a busy night. Who have we got coming out now? Oh, my girl! Let's go! Yes! The future. Pound for pound, the best woman in NXT. I flipping love this girl. What can she not do? She can sell. She's got agility. She's got a great moveset. She hasn't even been doing it that long. God only knows where she'll be in 12 months. She'll have completed wrestling. Let's go, Kelani. A lot of excitement around Sol Ruka, understandably so. But I gotta tell you, man, Kelani is right in the mix for me. Do you know there's some amazing women coming through NXT? Amazing women. I think I'm probably more excited about the women's division in NXT than any other division. I think the women's division's better than the men's. If you look at Jada Parker and the buzz that's around her, I know we've just lost Tiffany Stratton, but look at the splash she's gone up and made. But, you know, you've got Kelani Jordan, you've got Sol Ruka. You've got, you know, some really, really good talent that's coming through. And it's solid as well. I mean, you look at like a JC Jane, and you look at a Gigi Dolan, and you look at a Blair Davenport, and we haven't even spoke about the champ. We haven't even spoke about Lyra Valkyria. Kiana James, I mean, she can do some stuff, man. She's not bad at all. It's good division. King Yedi, shout out to you. She would be for you if you watch her. Watch me. Yeah. I hate that catchphrase. I'm really not a fan of that catchphrase. Watch me. No, I don't want to. It's a funny catchphrase for a babyface. It feels very heelish to me. It's like a demand. Watch. It's got a bit of sass to it as well. Watch me. Just what I'm going to beat your favorites. Watch me. I found that as well. She did that when she was champion. She's like, I'm your SmackDown Women's Champion or whatever it was that she kept saying. I'm like, you're not mine. You're not mine. I didn't want you as the champion. Don't represent me. I do find there is this kind of undertone, heelish undertone, actually, when you look at it. Right, going against the ropes goes Kelani Jordan, but Izzy Dame gets in the way. So, King Yeti, shout out to you. Oh, Kelani! Springboard moonsault to the outside. Lands on top. Lands on top of both of Izzy Dane and Kiana. Okay, Christopher, shout out to you, buds. Christopher said, I definitely agree. The crowd for Chamber were red hot. Even in my section where I was sitting, you could see me on the hard cam when I was watching the show, and it was a brilliant show. Well, Christopher, I'm really pleased you had a good time. I think Australia did itself proud. I think the crowd were fantastic. To be honest, I just think it was WWE that let you down a little bit by not giving you some OMG moments. I think that there was moments, and I think the show was very, very strong. And actually, where it ranked in our list was good. I mean, it came out actually as great, and did not do badly at all. But it did feel like it was lacking that, you know, here's the Undertaker or something like that, which is a shame because he was there, and like he could have come down. Granted, what would he have said? What would he have done? But I don't know. Could we have teased something? Could we have done something? Could we have teased something? I still don't understand why you don't use that show to announce the main event of the Hall of Fame. Who is the main event entry in the Hall of Fame? Why is that not announced on that show? It'd be a great segment to put onto that show. You could easily have done it. If the main event star is going to be, Batista, you could have had Batista come out. And that would have been a nice moment. Here's Batista. Wasn't expecting Batista. I know Batista might not be the most popular wrestlers of all time, but if you're not expecting him, and Batista comes down, and and you get to hear his music. He's got great music. And I do expect him to headline a Class, and it could even be this year. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? What do you do something a bit more special for WrestleMania 40? I don't know. Do you go with Batista? Who do you have go in the Hall of Fame this year? I feel like you could put AJ Lee in. AJ Lee could go in. She would have been amazing. Imagine, why don't you have AJ Lee come walking out? You could have announced her for the Hall of Fame. You can't tell me AJ Lee doesn't deserve to go in the Hall of Fame. Of course she does. So, you could have had that moment. I think they just... I don't know what it was. There was just a moment that was missing. You did get AJ, I suppose, but... that was the general consensus. It was a bit predictable and a really, really great show. Really solid, but just needed that little... certainly considering America was getting up super early. 5 o'clock in the morning. There was a lot of sleepy eyes out there. It was all right for us, but I definitely understand our American friends struggling a little bit. But Christopher, listen, it was all about you lot getting the show that you deserved, and I'm really, really pleased you had a great time, dudes. And as I said, the crowd came across fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Fiendish, hello, my friend. Fiendish said, who do you think is behind the mysterious promo? I wish it was Bo with a dark gimmick, but I don't think it's him. I don't think it is either, to be honest. I think that it's Tama Tonga. That's my guess. I don't think that Bo is coming back. I think that if you've got a mysterious vignette like this, I think Bo is something that would come to mind for people, because these vignettes have been so synonymous with a Bray Wyatt in the past. But, Bray's sadly no longer with us. And, you could look at it and go, well, this is the kind of thing they would do for a Bo if Bo was coming back. But I've never really thought this was for Bo. If it turns out to be Bo, I'll be stunned. I'll be absolutely stunned. I just don't... I don't know that he wants to carry on. I don't know that he wants to keep, working and doing this. I think he's kind of got his own little life that he's happy with, to be honest. I think the reason he came back was because Bray wanted him to come back and do the Uncle Howdy stuff. But to be honest, I don't think Uncle Howdy was working. That's going to upset people, but I'm just being honest. I don't think it was working. I think that it could have got somewhere, but I don't think that it is, him coming down with the kind of twisting his arm round sort of hand gesture. The character was not fleshed out. We don't know his relationship with Bray. The one time that we saw him trying to attack Bobby from behind, he ended up getting beat up. Bobby got the better of him, so that exchange didn't look very good. Because of the mask, he couldn't really do much talking. I don't remember him doing a live promo. The hand gestures and mannerisms didn't really do it for me. We never saw him actually wrestle in a wrestling match. Don't know what he would have wore for that, to be honest. I don't know what ring gear for an Uncle Howdy would have looked like. I said before, if I was to bring Bo back, I'd bring him back as Bo. I'd bring him back as Bo, and I'd have him saying that he wants to achieve this for his brother. And I would make it you know, I'd blur those lines and put a bit of realism in it. And I'd be like, listen, my brother wanted to achieve this, whatever it is. My brother wanted to achieve this, and I'm going to finish that for him. And everyone would be behind that. Everyone would support that. That, to me, would be a lot more captivating and a lot more interesting than trying to bring back Uncle Howdy. So if we was to bring Bo back, that's the direction I'd much prefer we went. I mean, you could go with Uncle Howdy, and a lot of the criticisms that I just said, you could flesh out and explain. Oh, man, Kelani tried to get over the top rope. Izzy Dame grabbed her leg. Kelani hit the edge of the ring. Hard, man. Hard. Jeez, look at the smile on Izzy Dame's face. That was brutal. Kiana's picked up the victory as a result, but that was brutal. This girl, I mean, she is flipping around. Look, we're going to see a replay. Look, she goes, look. Oh, mate. Mate, she got deaded. She got flipping deaded. Oh. That was sick. Look at her, she's in the corner. Like, I'd be throwing up. I'd be hurling in a bucket right now if I was her. Right, let's get your match scores, shall we, for that first match. What you thought about it. I thought that was pretty fun, to be honest. I thought there was some nice moments in there. That ending was flipping brutal, mate. Last week, we're seeing the Lash Legend. It's been a week. Feels like longer, actually. But this was Lash Legend stepping out and stepping up to Lyra, and then us getting an impromptu match because of Shotzi. It's been a week since that, you know. A week. Right. Cal said, wrestle votes if you've not seen. Oh, I have not seen. Let's have a little look. Roxanne Perez. Here's Jakara. Lash stays ready so she doesn't have to get ready. So Roxanne and Jakara started brawling last week. Gallows and Anderson are on their way out. Oh, man, let's go. Man, this could be good. This could be really good. It looks like they're going to be wrestling. I'd much rather hear from them. Why are they here? I know they did a little interview, like, outside, but are they going to go? Are they going by Good Brothers or Gallows and Anderson? They got Good Brothers on the shirts, but Gallows and Anderson on the thing. It's Gallows and Anderson on the actual graphic. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. I think this is brilliant, them going into... I think this is brilliant, them going down to NXT. I think it's just what they need. Right, wrestle votes then, Cal, thank you. 25 minutes ago, we've heard some chatter throughout the day of a significant return taking place tonight on NXT. Who would that be? Trick. Would that be significant? It would be. In NXT terms, it would be significant. Unless it's someone from the main roster that's been away. It's not going to be Sheamus, is it? Who else is absent? Who else is absent? A significant return? Trick's the first name that would come to mind. It's interesting. Cal, thank you. Christopher said Batista was actually in Perth. I took a photo with him. Do you know, that's really interesting because there was a picture of him in Perth, but I didn't know if he was really there because the picture was kind of like super zoomed in, and to be honest, it could have been from anywhere. Easily could have been from like when he was doing like a red carpet appearance or something. So it was hard to know if that was real. But if you're saying that you met him, then, well, there we go. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Dave Meltzer said that they did have a surprise which they didn't go through with. I wonder if it was that. That'd be a bit moody, though, wouldn't it? Flying Batista all the way over there and then, like, telling him, yeah, we'll have you come out, and then you don't do it. That'd be moody. That's a long way to fly, man. That would be moody. So I don't know if that was the... I don't even know if they did have one. It might be Dave Meltzer just trying to save face, to be honest. But that's what he said. He said that Austin Theory, AJ Styles, and there was a third, which they had planned, but they didn't move forward with. They didn't go with. So don't know what that was in relation to. But interesting to know that he was actually there. Fiendish said, do you think Wyatt will go into the Hall of Fame this year? I think he absolutely could. He will go into the Hall of Fame. I've no doubt about that. I mean, what I would say is that I know it will happen. I already know it will happen. But I think that if he doesn't go into the Hall of Fame this year, I would not take that as a disrespect, because we don't know when the conversations have taken place. We don't know these plans, you know, we don't know when they're planned, we don't know when they're sorted, we don't know when they're arranged. It might be that these wheels were in motion around the time that he did pass away, you know. So it might be he doesn't go in this year, he goes in next year. I think if he hasn't gone in within the next couple of years, then people would be right to be questioning, like, what are we doing? Because I think he should definitely go in, but I honestly don't know when the conversation is had for... And he would be the headliner, of course, as well. I mean, he's not just someone that's going to go in. I'm sure he would be the headliner. Although, that's tricky. Well, that is tricky, but I think he would be the headliner. I was going to say, a headliner that can't actually be there is tricky. That is tricky. So, yeah, I think that... but, of course, you could have Bo put him in, couldn't you? And Eric Rowan, and like, there's enough people that can be there that can put him in, of course. But yeah, he would be the headliner. But yeah, if he doesn't go in this year, I wouldn't take it as a disrespect. I would just think to myself that the wheels had already been in motion, you know, and it just wasn't meant to be this year. So maybe it'll be the next year. But he definitely will go in. I've no doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. Kappa said Sol Ruka returning. Tatum Paxley is the best. Yeah, that would be... I mean, she is back. She, I think, did a house show. So if she is going to be back on TV... Have we not seen her on TV yet already? Probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that would be the return. Would that be... I don't know. That's a difficult one. Would that count? Would people... I mean, in all fairness, WWE haven't teased anything. So if she is on the show, then cool. I don't know how people would feel about that, though, if they would class that as significant. Right, we got Gallows and Anderson taking on a No Feet and Blade. Let's get rid of this poll because I don't want things getting confused. So the last match that we watched was Kelani versus Kiana. And you lot voted. We got 68% goods. We got 19% great. Only 1% bad. That's going to do well. That's going to do well. Only 1% said it was bad. Only 1%. So that's going to be good. 99%. 99% goods. 99% of the people that voted said it was either good or better. So it comes out good 99%. It's actually good 68% though. That's what they actually voted, but good 99%. Wow. That's going to be as high up the good list as I think it's probably about possible to get. So just missing out on great, that one. Chop coming in by Blades. We've got Anofi in there as well. Now they're working on... We've got Anderson in there. Anofi down. Blade going against and comes crashing down onto Anderson. All kinds of fired up right now. A. Jobson said, Malik and Idris are a great team, putting on great matches, but they are a definition of jobbers. They need time to shine themselves. That is true. That is true. And I can't see them getting the win here either. Gallows throwing down some big shots. So Gallows is all over Blade at the moment. Gallows coming over and grabbing Blades. Roadblock is next Tuesday. Oh, I didn't realise that. Didn't realise it was only next Tuesday. So what? Ooh, I don't think they bring Trick back tonight. I think they bring Trick back next week. But then if he did come back tonight, it would be a little bit of a, oh man, Trick's around. What's he going to do during that match? Carmelo against Ilja. So maybe they bring him back just to kind of hype up the fact that he could get involved next week. Right now we've got Gallows in control against Blades. K-Dub said, did anyone buy a calendar? I don't think you can get the calendar in the UK. I don't think you can get it. Let's have a little look, shall we? See what we're playing with. No, that's not Euroshop. I want Euroshop. Not now. There's Euroshop. Down he goes. Chase you. Yeah, no, still no. There's a Chase You shirt that you can get, but you still can't get the calendar in the UK. Sucks. New arrivals. Stuff going up all the time, isn't there? The R-Truth shirt. Oh, you can get, though. Ooh, you can get those Hall of Fame pop vinyls. Oh my God, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. You can get the Hall of Fame pop vinyls. Look at the Warrior. Oh my God. £22 is a lot. And look, the Jey Uso glasses that he started wearing, you can get those as well. There's a few bits here, actually. Big Boss Man pop vinyl. Oh my God. Liv Morgan. Elimination Chamber stuff. Quite a bit. But that Hall of Fame one looks amazing. It was a GameStop exclusive, but we don't have GameStop here. Right, we've got Anofi going up top. Carl Anderson is down. He moves out the way. He gets picked up. Spinebuster! Spinebuster by Anderson. In comes Gallows. Gallows grabbing Anofi. Magic Killer connects, and that's going to do it. So it's a win. It's a Magic Killer. It's a victory for Gallows and Anderson. No big surprise there. I think we knew it was going to go that way. They just called him the OC. Stop doing that. Oh, hello. Someone's calling him out. Oh, Chase you. Karma is a bitch. Okay, poll is up to vote on that last match. We've got Chase You in the audience. Oh, now we've got another team coming out. Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Okay, so Axiom and Nathan Frazier want to get their hands on the OC. I wish we'd move away from that name. Okay, there's a big squabble going on at the moment. Is that the LWO? LWO are here as well. So we got LWO, we got Axiom and Nathan, we got Chase U, we got the Good Brothers, also known as the OC. Well, they're not making friends, are they? You mentioned about Talking Shop, which is a little reference to Talking Shopomania. We've got Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin, the current tag team champs, standing on that platform, looking over the tag division. And we go back to Ava. Okay, here's Oba. I just want the name of my next victim. Oh God, look at Ilja. Look at Ilja staring at Oba. It's too soon for that match. Oba laughs as he walks away. Right, here's Roxanne. It's too soon for that match. Because surely Ilja wins. I mean, you could do that match if Ilja loses the belt. But if it's... you're not going to have Oba beating Ilja, are you? Surely. Right, Roxanne is making her way down. So we're already up to match number 3. Jeez. We are absolutely flying through this. Roxanne Perez is going to be taking on Jakara this April. Right, let's go down. Let's go down. Was Eddie the headliner in 2006? I honestly don't know. I'll have a look for you. Hall of Fame. It looks like it was... Is it Brett? No. So it was Brett was the headliner, and Eddie was put in, represented by Vicky Guerrero, and his 2 daughters. So sadly, he was not. That year it was Bret Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Mean Gene Okerlund, Sensational Sherry, Vern Gagne, and Tony Atlas. The Blackjacks went in, and so did William the Refrigerator Perry. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? I was thinking, I bet Logan goes in. And do you know what's annoying? He's probably done enough to go in as well. I don't know that he's done enough to go in as a wrestler, but he definitely easily goes into the celebrity wing. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I don't think he's done enough to go in as a wrestler, but celebrity wing is a shoo-in, isn't he? He's an absolute shoo-in. We've put William the Refrigerator Perry in. He participated in a battle royal, one battle royal at WrestleMania 2. And we might have done the odd other little bit with him, but Logan's done already way more than that. So, Logan Paul, Hall of Fame already. There's nothing you can do. He goes into the scammers wing. We're going to open a special scammers wing, and he's going to go into there. So, yeah, there we go. No, it was Bret Hart. But what I would say is that I think it was a little different back then, to be honest. I think the Hall of Fame, you know, it had a little bit of a break and then it came back. And it did mean a lot, but I don't know that it was... I don't know. It's in a different place now, you know. That's like 18 years ago. I think that people would want Bray to go in and they would want him to be respected and honoured the right way. But whether that means he headlines the class, I think he should. Because I think there's enough people that can talk that the fans know. You know, Bo Dallas can talk, Eric Rowan can talk, Braun Strowman can talk. It is missing, obviously, him being there, though. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? It doesn't really matter if he headlines or not, as long as he goes in. I'm sure it would matter to some fans, though. Not ramen, William. Egg noodles. Trini, shout out to you. Shout out to Trini and her egg noodles. Shouldn't it be Lash versus Roxy because Lash took the title match spot? Well, they showed why. I mean, so last week, I think whilst Lash was having the match, Jakara was basically standing up for Lash, saying, listen, you know, you were too slow. Lash is always ready. She stays ready so she doesn't have to get ready. So I'm sure we'll do Roxanne against Lash at some point, but I don't have a problem with this. Here is Jakara Jackson. She's come down. Lash is in her corner. So Roxanne Perez against Jakara Jackson. This should be okay. Let's get rid of the poll again because I don't want to get confused. So 77 said it was good, 2% said it was bad, 11% said it was great, 9% thought it was an all-time great match. Right, Roxanne against Jakara Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Roxanne is for real. Okay, Roxanne goes out the ring. She tries to get over to Jakara, but Lash is in the way. Jakara then tries to blindside Roxanne, but ends up getting caught. Kick to the face there. Wow, Roxanne goes down. Jakara going over, grabbing Roxanne, hurls her into the ring. And charging over, drop kick as Roxanne goes down. Our Ghost is hotter than the scorpion pepper. I normally use imported peppers for this sauce, and then I mix it with local peppers, says Trini. Trini with some cooking advice. Spice up your life if you're having a good time. Jakara goes into the corner. Back elbow there by Roxanne. James said Roxanne is talented and didn't walk out of a job because she didn't get her own way. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired, Roxanne with a... Oof. Oof. Springboard moonsault. Knees landing horrifically there. I think the ref just checking on Jakara. Oof, my God. Roxanne's been learning from the school of Sammy Guevara. Kick to the midsection. Not as bad as Sammy Guevara. Clubbing blow to the back there as Jakara goes down to her knees. Ilja took out Roxanne Perez from out of nowhere, said Richard. Lash is out of there. You're out of there. Okay, Lash has been thrown out. Oh, Roxanne from behind, you know. Roxanne from behind. She gets caught, though. It's Roxanne that gets planted, but she kicks out. And she rolls as Jakara is getting back up to her feet. Also, you can cream coconut and it works the best. Please, no talking about creaming coconuts. Thank you. We've got Roxanne in the middle of the ring. I give Mercedes 2 months before she walks out of AEW. At the moment, we've got Jakara in control. She's got a hold of the arms of Roxanne. Pulling back on the arms. It's a good move. Pulling back on the arms. She's got the foot in the middle of the spine. Get the hair as well, yeah. Love it. Nice little twist by Roxanne. She goes for the cover. Jakara kicks out. Jakara comes over, smashes Roxanne face first into the ring. Hawkins said, Daze, with Bron Breakker getting called up and still having the tag belts, how long will it be that Sean can cut the cord and let him go? Well, Sean said there's still lots for Bron to do in NXT. And said that we have seen this. I mean, Dragon Lee has done this as well, where they do this double duty. It is mental because for the longest time we didn't know what to do with Bron, and he was like faffing around. And now all of a sudden we found something for him just as he gets called up. So I don't think he'll be doing NXT and SmackDown for very long. Well, probably just for WrestleMania season. And then I'd imagine after that, you know, these two will probably drop the belts at Stand and Deliver. And then I'd imagine that he'll just be on SmackDown. Right, Roxanne has got a crossface. Crossface applied and Jakara taps. Tappity tap. Tippity tap. So it's a win for Roxanne. By submission. Match score. Let's get your thoughts on this. The thing with NXT, there's so many matches. I just feel like I type this out and that's literally all I do on a Tuesday. I just sit here and I type. I'm basically a secretary. Right, we're backstage with that girl. I can't remember her name. We've got Thea Hale. We've got JC Jane. JC called Thea a dumbass. Oh. Oh, better off as friends. The old Thea Hale was a loser. Fallon Henley begs people to be her friend. JC says you're much better off now. Is this Kiana? Kiana's sneaking up. So Thea went on a date with Riley. Riley was like, apparently Riley said, you're not the girl I thought you was. The girl on the date is not the girl I was expecting. It's not the girl like, I mean, that's moody, isn't it? Imagine saying that at the end of the day. Well, to be honest with you, the girl I've just been on the date with is not the girl that I normally see. So, like at NXT. So, it's not. It's just not worked out. I feel like that's a bit harsh. I'd just ignore the calls, like they would call. Right, Thea got friend-zoned. She got friend-zoned. JC Jane's new friend is God's gift to Earth, said A. Jobson. TBH said, is Roxanne still a tweener or a full-on heel? Tweener. She's tweening. Do you know what? I'm a little bit cold. I'm going to put on my grey jacket. I'm going to introduce a bit of colour to the stream. And by colour, I mean grey. The best of all the colours. We need the old Thea back, said James. I'll tell you what we need. We need more calendars. That's what we need. I say let's keep sexy, edgy Thea and let's get some more calendars made. And then we can talk about going back. Then I'm open to the discussion. Brian said NXT take in Tuesday, Monday Night Raw, and Friday Night SmackDown. No, yeah, it's good, isn't it? This is giving cringe high school college vibes. Yes. But I don't mind it. It's simple storytelling. And it makes matches possible. Well, I mean, in all fairness, you are not wrong. But I suppose we do have to remember that she is quite young, isn't she, really? So this is the kind of boy drama she probably is, you know, not long experienced. Maybe still experiencing, I don't know. So it's kind of hard to criticize it being like a bit young and childish when Thea Hale is quite young. You're not allowed to be cold. It's too much change. Yeah, I am. It's just on my arms, actually. It's just on my arms. We have been getting frost, to be honest. Johnny said, I love that jacket. But do you know what? This was like £9 from Primark. I mean, I do not spend like money in like nice places. This is just a £9. It's a horrible zip. Horrible. I mean, it works, but it's really like quite sharp. Like, it's not a pleasant, like, you know, you can get these nice plastic covered like zip. This is metal and it's quite rough. I don't like it at all. But what are you going to get for £9, eh? It's the first time I've seen Daze in a hoodie. He looks sexy. I mean, you're not wrong. I am your father. You're not wrong. I can rock a hoodie quite well. I heard the news that Damian Priest is thinking about cashing in his Money in the Bank for the IC title, said Malik. Don't know, to be honest. I mean, he had the opportunity to do it. He didn't do it on Raw. I think he's actually open to having a match for the IC title and not wasting the Money in the Bank on it. He seems to be interested in competing for the IC title, but I don't know that he's cashing in on the IC title. Unless he gets like really involved in a feud with Gunther, it becomes personal, and then he decides, actually, do you know what? I'm gonna use this to take it off him. But I don't know that it'll go that way. I don't know. Brony said, Des, I don't really know how Priest cashes in on a title. If he cashes in on Gunther, then that's 2 years in a row of cashing in on mid-belts, which is horrendous, I agree. I agree. They must have learnt from the Austin Theory one. They must have. I can't have been the only one that was crying tears. I'd like to think someone else out there was crying as well when that happened. Okay, here's the OC, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. They've stepped up to Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin. They've got jokes. NXT has reinvigorated my career, says Baron. Baron said he won these tag titles by himself, and Bron was like repeating everything he was saying. And he was like, come on, dude. Carl Anderson looks good, doesn't he? Looks in good shape. Looks in really good shape. Looks like he's on that Imperium workout plan. That Ludwig Kaiser workout plan. Baron Corbin said, do you know what I think's funny? The face you made when AJ Styles slapped you in the mouth. We have a good time. But when the bell rings, the dogs come out. That's a good catchphrase. Yeah, good catchphrase. Bron is very comfortable, isn't he? I mean, he just stands there and like comes out with his like his delivery's good. We're seeing the no quarter catch crew. They're putting in the work. Miles Bourne had a little back and forth. I think Miles Bourne might be the one that gets chosen. Here's Luca Crusifino. Now, we haven't seen much of this guy. He's still unknown to me. Luca Crusifino. He definitely feels like he should have been the lawyer for the family. He definitely feels like he should have been the lawyer for Tony D'Angelo. Instead, he's like the lawyer for Joe Gacy. So, Luca against Djack. Right, let's end this poll. You haven't got long to vote. We have to get these in, otherwise it'll start getting confusing. 75, 13, 7, and 3. Lovely. Now we're underway with Luke. I mean, Luca's going to get battered here. He's going to get absolutely flipping battered. Oh, Djack goes into the commentary table. The top of the commentary table goes sliding off. Luca throwing Djack back into the ring. Luca in control, but Djack starting to throw in some shots. Needs to pound it. Yeah, that's true, actually. Booker's back, isn't he? Booker back this week after being absent for the past few weeks. We've had Byron Saxton. And the top of the table, like, slid towards him. I don't know if it caught him, but Vic Joseph was like, are you okay? Because, like, I've only just got back. Big clubbing blow there by Djack. Don't forget, Roadblock next week. That'll be good. Can't wait for that. Kick coming in there by Djack. I don't know what the card looks like, though. We'll find out later. Carmelo, Ilja. Don't know. Are we doing Good Brothers against Bron and Baron? And I don't know who Lyra's facing. Oh, I've got a lot of questions. Big chop there by Djack. Huge chop. His chest is bright red, man. And again. Oh, rapid fire. Oh. Luca's trying to respond with a few slaps of his own, these two. Ah, super kick there by Djack. Luca went back into the corner. Djack looking for a superplex. He's got him up, but Luca lands on his feet. Picks up. Djack lands on his feet. Ah, big clothesline. Oh, huge. Just took his head off, man. We cut over to the crowd, and the crowd are loving what they're seeing. Right now, Djack getting picked up. We got a couple of back elbows coming in there by Luca. Ah, clothesline by... Ah, another one, but he won't go down. Luca, third time. Fourth time. Luca again. Duck underneath, round the back. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a Blue Thunder Bomb. Blue Thunder Bomb there would have been good. He went for like 4 big clotheslines. Couldn't get the big man down. Looked like he was going for like a Blue Thunder Bomb, but he ended up going for a belly to back suplex. Goes over to the corner. Ah, big boot by Djack. Djack is so good. He's got to be a future NXT champion. He's got to be. Djack, beginning of the end. Oh, GTS. And there we go. It's a win for Djack. Djack picking up the victory. And do you know what? Not a bad little match. Not a bad little match. It was short, but there's some hard-hitting stuff in there. So, all-time, great, good, or bad. What did we think of that? Daze, Kiana plus JC plus Izzy plus Jasmine are the new toxic attraction that might be forming, and I am here for it, says A. Jobson. Here's Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy has still got the straight jacket on. And we've got Luca attacking from behind. Gacy wailing away. Oh, Gacy was using the strap of the straight jacket to sort of whip Djack. Luca was managed to find a crowbar. Right, we're backstage. Ah, the Riz! The Riz! Let's go, man. I got bigger business, says Tony. Right, here's Lyra. Ah, the Riz didn't say anything. Lyra is just walking through the corridor backstage. So we're going to be hearing from the champ. We are at commercial break. It is 4 minutes before. We normally wait till after, don't we? Nah. It's in my head now, so we'll do it now.
Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this.
Boom. Right, there you go. Get in your thoughts. Get in your scores. Get in your thoughts. Get in your scores. The Beach said 8.2. Jordan said, I've tagged you. Thank you. 6.7. 7 said Eric. 1 Minute Wrestler said 7. Billy. What did Billy say? I was just about to read Billy's and then it disappeared. 6.7. Mikhail says 10. Draco 6.5. Kieran 7.5. A Jobson 6.5. Liv for Trouble 6.25. Tingalin 6. Trey with a 6. Brony with a 6.5. Stephen with a 6. Malik said you can't call yourself Mafia with just 2 men and a woman. Virus 6. Eric 7. Sweet Warrior with a 7. Megan with an 8. Alexa Bliss. I don't know why I read Alex. I saw Alex. Alexa Bliss Gamer 8. Looks like they're teasing Luca joining the family. He should. He feels like a natural fit. Trini said 6.75. Hyrule said 6.75. K Dub said 6.5. Seth freaking Rollins 6.5. Chris 7 out of 10. You should get that song recorded. I should get that song recorded. You're absolutely right. It's a nightmare singing it on every stream. Marty B said 6. Daniel said 6.5. Eric said 7. 7S70 said 7. Blue Shirt 819 said 6.5. Main 5.5. Kyle 5.6. Spurs Gamer 5. Kappa Owens with a 7. TBH with a 7.4. Johnny said the show's been all right, but it's not the best. Mummy Days said 69. Said well, that is so typical of her. That is her favourite number. Marty said 6. Gushan said 8.5. Zweta Roy says 10. Spurs Gamer with a 5. Stephen with a 6. And Broken Dreams said, Daze, how do you feel about Tama Tonga coming to WWE? I really like it. He is getting on a little bit in the sense of he's 41. So whatever we're going to do, we're going to have to do it quick. But I like it. I think putting him with the Good Brothers as well, putting him with Gallows and Anderson, brilliant. So I'm hoping that he is the mystery vignette person and that he is going to join up with the Good Brothers. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm a fan of his work. I enjoyed watching him in Gorillas of Destiny. I've enjoyed watching him in New Japan. But he is 41 as well, so whatever it is that we're gonna do, we're gonna have to do it quick, you know. Right now we've got Noam Dar. We have got Oro Mensah backstage. It could be Charlie and his chocolate factory. Noam throws back to the commentary team. And we've got Lyra making her way out. Richard said Roxanne Perez needs an NXT feud with Ilja Dragunov. We're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. And finally, someone has had the confidence to say it out loud. Right. Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria making her way down to the ring. King Yeti. Says, is it an American nightmare singing it every an American nightmare? Yeah, we need to find a way of getting that in, actually. We need to end with a whoa. What I know about you lot is that you love singing along. You love sing-song time, don't you? You love it when Seth comes out. You love it when you get to do the whoa-whoa bit, don't you? I need to fit a whoa-whoa into the halftime score song. Or maybe we develop a new full-time score song that can have a whoa-whoa in it. I know what you lot like. Right, Lyra is in the ring. Shotzi. Shotzi, when you do come back, I still owe you that title shot. So she's praising Shotzi. She's praising Lash Legend. I promised you I'd be standing here as your NXT Women's Champion. And I'm a woman that keeps my promises. And last week I made Tatum a promise. It's time to give her what she deserves. What's she gonna give her? She's gonna kiss her. She's gonna give her a kiss. Naked picture. Imagine if she tells her she set up an OnlyFans and that she's got a free subscription for her. Tatum would love that. Tatum's come out from like behind a barricade or so. This is weird. She's such a weird chick. Right, she's been excited on social media all week, man. All week. Vince is like blue dress looking. My sweet, sweet dove was in danger of losing her title. I would do anything for you. It's a bit too amateur dramatics, this, to be honest. You've got Lyra, like... Yeah. She's trying to say, like, keep it down. I spoke to Ava. Some calls were made. Next week, we're going to be teaming together. Oh, that's boring. Oh, they're taking on the Kabuki Warriors. Wow, they're taking on the Kabuki Warriors next week. Oh. Lyra was like, we'll be teaming together, not as friends. And straight away, Tatum was like, more than that. I did like that bit. We'll be teaming together, but not as friends. More than that. What, we'll be lovers? Okay, who's coming out now? Rich Allen, what's he want? Pardon me, ladies. Don't mind me, ladies. All right, I'm here, don't you worry. I tell you what, the best of luck at Roadblock. Ridge Holland. If you're gonna leave, I would like the ring. Yeah, well, oh God, aren't you a dashing gentleman? What a fine Englishman you are. Right, ladies, you've had your time. Get out the ring now, would you? It's Ridge's time now. If you don't mind, ladies, come on, show's on the road. Get on. Out you get. Tickety-boo. Yeah, crowd a bit. Yeah, they're right to boo as well. They're right to boo. He's just kicked the women out the ring. Right, ladies. You've had your fun. You've had your chitty chat time. Get out the ring. What the flip's this? Well, we were, do you know what I mean? All of a second ago, we were like celebrating the fact we got the Kabuki Warriors on the show next week. Now we got Gruff Garrison in there. Right then, ladies, here we go. You'll love this. I was defending my family. Lights have gone out. Oh my God, lights have gone out. What's this? Is this the arrival of the person? Is this the mystery person? Someone's just walloped Ridge Holland with a chair. What the flip's this? Ricochet. What? Ty Dillinger! No! What the flip? They're calling him Sean Spears? What? What the flip? What the flip? What the flip? Where did that come from? What the flip? Anyone know what the hell's going on? Why? No, that was not reported anywhere. No one's rumoured that. In fact, I think I heard that he had quit. I thought I heard that he was done. They haven't called him Ty Dillinger. Oh my God, what the flip? Oh God. I can't concentrate on anything else now. How am I meant to concentrate on anything else now? I mean, the writing. So is this the mystery man? Is this the person that it's been? I mean, the writing all on the screen made it feel like it was the person. Yeah, all I can tell you is social media is like, Sean Spears! I don't get it. I mean, it's a hell of a surprise, but I don't know. What do they see in him? I mean, I don't know. Ty Dillinger was cool, but how old is he? Sean Spears. He's 43? Why have we signed a 43-year-old Ty Dillinger? What are we hoping to achieve with him? I mean, look, not everyone that comes in is coming in to be, like, you know, world champion. Maybe we just think he'll be a steady hand. Jesus. What the flip? What the flip? I'm shocked and surprised. We all are, but... We all are. I tell you the thing I'm thinking, though. Is that the mystery person? Have we just had that answered? All the writing was shown around on the screens. So is he the mystery person? Sean Spears is trending. William said, for this reason, 43-year-old NXT debut, said Mitchell. Maybe a last run before going to coaching or producing. Yeah, do you know, that is not a bad shout, him going into coaching. Him going into coaching, him going into being a producer, him going into being a trainer, like give him a little run in the ring and then transition him. Like maybe that's what we look to do. I'll tell you the thing I want answering though. Is he the mystery man? And do you know what? People are saying that he is. I mean, it definitely feels like he is. It's quite clear that the text all appears on screen. I mean, here, look, we've got this. There, look, there's all the text on screen. Is that the same fonts as what has been getting used, though? It sort of looks like it. Sort of looks like it. Yeah, I mean, it is. It does look like it, doesn't it? Truth will ultimately. So, Sean Spears? And then there he was. Boom. Sean Spears is back. Nice image. Sean Spears is back. Thoughts? Wait, so Sean was the vignette video package. Yeah, and no one saw that coming. Sean is the man behind the cryptic messages out of nowhere. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There we go. Sean Spears is back. That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. The chairman, the perfection, the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears is back. Do you know what? I'm going to be a bit controversial. If we were going to bring back someone from the past like that, I wish it was Tyler Breeze. I didn't mind Ty Dillinger. I thought he was a solid mid-carder. He went up to the main roster. It just didn't really work out for him. But, yeah, that's a good gif. Look at that reaction. Look at Chelsea Green. That's a good reaction. Right, we're backstage with Carmelo. Corey comparing Sting to Sean Spears is laughable, did he? I was expecting Mandy Rose. I thought that those vignettes were Tama Tonga. And when the news came out earlier, I was like, yeah, cool. There we go. Done deal. Wow. Wow. Yeah, still trying to digest it. Defcon Prime said, found my first AEW chase figure in the wild. Ring of Honor CM. Oh, very good. Very good. Right. Where did you find it? What store was it at? Where was you successful? Okay, Von Wagner versus Lexis King. Von Wagner versus Lexis King. Tell me Sean Spears will have his AEW music. I love his AEW music. I have no idea what his AEW music sounds like. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't even know if they can have that music, to be honest. Right. Wow. Okay, Von Wagner against Lexis King. That's what we've got at the moment. Let's flip back over. It's hard to be genuinely surprised with everything that gets spoiled. Even though Sean Spears isn't a massive name, it's still kind of cool. Tama Tonga is a badass, said K-Dub. I think Tama still comes to NXT. I do as well, I agree. I just thought that the writing was Tama Tonga. Nice superplex there by Von Wagner. AR said, we're getting back some NXT talent from AEW, hoping that we get Aleister Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King. King Yeti said, dang it, now I want to listen to Tyler Breeze's theme. Yeah, man. And selfie sticks. We need selfie sticks. They were a bit of a thing for a hot minute, but they're not really a thing anymore. I don't really see people with, maybe the odd tourist, but don't really see people with selfie sticks anymore. I love Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze was like, I was so high on Tyler Breeze. I remember seeing his gimmick and he was like Prince Pretty. He loved himself. He was a good wrestler. He had that match, didn't he, against Jushin Thunder Liger as well. I mean, what a random match that is in the history. That might be the most random match in the history of NXT. Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. I think that was Jushin's only WWE appearance. So, random. But, yeah, I loved him. But then he went up and let's be honest, when they were Breezango, I loved them. Their fashion files, I thought, were really entertaining. I thought the fashion files had great potential. Fandango and Tyler Breeze, so... I don't know, it's a weird... It is a really weird one. The only thing I could say is, yeah, I agree with the chat. Maybe we bring him back and then he transitions into coaching. Perhaps they're looking at... I mean, it can't be a bad thing to bring back someone that was around during Black and Gold, can it? That can't be a bad thing. Black and Gold was goated. So Tyler Breeze coming... Ty Dillinger coming back and who was around during the Black and Gold phase. I could not... When he was covered, I could not tell. I really thought for a second it was Ricochet. For a second, I really thought it was Ricochet. I was like, damn, they took him back down to NXT, but I didn't expect it to be Shawn Spears. There's been no rumors of that at all. Nothing. Not even a whisper. Right, Von Wagner gets knocked into Mr. Stone. Spears is awesome, said 770. Ty Dillinger, an NXT legend. Tyler Breeze is still young, says Tom. Right down, we've got Von. Oh, nailed from behind. I'm done with you, King, says Mr. Stone. Roll up there by Von. 2, 3. Gets the pin and the win. Von Wagner pinning Lexis King. So, match score. I really want to hear from Shawn Spears. That's going to be fascinating. If we don't, we shouldn't hear from him this week. We should hear from him next week. Robert Stone, Mr. Stone gets nailed by Lexis King. But yeah, I want to know, why is he back? Boom. So, Mr. Stone gets planted. There's a dude in the crowd that's got, I think, a QR code on his top. I have no doubt that that is him just trying to... Do you remember there was a dude that brought his own sign that had a QR code on it? Daze Fandango is a jerk. I met him at a show and I said, can I get a picture? And he said, after my match. I went to see him after his match and he told me no. I mean, I know that shouldn't be funny, but I do find that quite funny. Oh, you want a picture? Yeah. Just come and see me after the match. And so you wait, and then you go up to him, and can I get a picture? No. If he was a heel, that would be brilliant. Imagine if you saw him before the show, and he was like, yeah, come and see me just before the show starts. I'll be by the merch thing. All right. And you go there, and he's like, oh, I'm just a bit pushed for time. Come and see me, like, after the end of the... Like, in the interval. I'll be here for the interval. And then you go over, and he's like, oh, I'm still pushed for time. Come and see me after the show ends, yeah? And so you go and see him after the show ends. And he's like... there's no one around him whatsoever. He's completely free. And he just goes, no. Oh, that would be so funny. I mean, the person wouldn't find it funny. I'd find it funny. Come on, Johnny. You've got to admit that's pretty funny. Tatum said she's always going to look out for Lyra. Here's Jada. Here's Ariana Grace. Not everything needs to end in a fight. Brinley in the background. Haven't seen... Where's Stevie Turner? I haven't seen her in a hot minute. This is NXT. Fighting is our normal. It's only normal till we check. What's she going to change NXT? We're done with fighting. Right, here's Gigi. Gigi making her way down. Right, so we are done. Gigi, I love you, said Vince. Tyler is technically under a contract, but it's on the up, down side, said Alex Bliss Gamer. He owns his own wrestling school. What was this the poll for? What match was this? Oh, it was Von, wasn't it, against Lexis? Von against Lexis. God, there's so many matches. I'm still not emotionally over what just happened. 64, 16, 11, 6. Boom. Daze, trying to go on a hunting trip with me? No. I have no doubt whatsoever I would not return from that trip. Alaska, 3 days, 4 nights, moose and elk hunting. Not for me. Thank you. Have a lovely time, though. Let's Bliss Gamer, we read that one. Kappa said, man, they've got Gigi just floating around with no direction. A. Jobson said, Cake City Championship match. Right, we are at commercial break at the moment. Wrestle with Andy said, Daze, I found out today that George Hackenschmidt had a match at Ibrox Stadium. Did he? Did he? That's interesting. I know that he had some matches at the Royal Albert Hall. And I also know that Frank Gotch came over to the UK and I think competed actually in some matches in the UK. So Hackenschmidt was the world champion and then obviously went over to America where he lost to Frank Gotch. He lost twice. And that's interesting. I didn't know that he'd had a fight at Ibrox. I didn't even know that Ibrox Stadium was that old, to be honest. I wish, and there may be actually, but I wish there was a book or something that was like the history of wrestling in the UK going through from like the 1900s maybe up to, I mean obviously it'd be too much to ask for it to go all the way up to the present day, but I don't know, maybe if it could get to the 50s, I think that'd be like, you know, 1900 to 1950, the history of British like wrestling in the UK. That would be fascinating. I remember doing a stream where someone told me, and I don't know that this is true, I can only take their word for it, but someone told me that the wrestling that was shown on TV in the 60s and 70s here in the UK did occasionally have the odd match from WWE it mixed in with it. So they did very rarely on occasion show a Bruno Sammartino match, which I don't know that that's true. I was just told that. But that's mental to think that you could sit down in the UK in the 60s and 70s and see Bruno Sammartino on your TV. I mean, it was being filmed and recorded. You know, they did have their own TV show, so there would be footage. But I really don't know enough about like that side of it. It was all before my time, and frustratingly so. It's weird because my dad has no interest in wrestling whatsoever. Doesn't give a flip about wrestling. Couldn't care less if he tried. But yet even he used to watch wrestling in the UK because it was so big on a Saturday that everyone used to watch it. It was like there was only 3 channels, might even have only been 2, but there was only like a handful of channels, and the wrestling was on every Saturday, and they were household names. So, you know, you speak to my dad and be like, oh, what wrestlers did you watch? He'd be like, yeah, we were watching Mick McManus. And, like, you know, just go through, like, these names. If I was to say to him, oh, did you ever see Bruno? He wouldn't have a clue. He wouldn't have a flipping clue. But, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there is. You know that you can get these dodgy collections. I don't know if you've seen them, but there are people that sell like all of the WWE home videos on like Blu-ray discs. Like they're proper illegal, dodgy stuff, you know. But you can't get them. They are out there. They are being sold. What's this? We've got a brawl backstage. We had Djack talking to Ava. Well, I wonder if there's a collection of old British wrestling. I'm going to Google that now, actually. Old British wrestling shows. Right, here comes Jada Parker. Pressure. I saw her say that once on TV. It stuck with me. Pressure. I need to find that clip. I don't think anyone saw it. It was on NXT Level Up. Pressure. I do so well when I'm under pressure. History of wrestling, British wrestling, 100 British wrestlers. That's not what I want. I want the footage. I want the footage. Do you know, on YouTube... Right, Jada against Gigi. That's what we're doing at the moment. Defcon said YouTube might have some old stuff. They'll have bits, but I think I'm after some maybe a bit more than what YouTube will probably carry. Jada, but yeah, you're right. YouTube, Daily Motion, they'll be worth a look. Pressure, but that's interesting wrestling. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I didn't know if someone had a dodgy Blu-ray set of like 8 discs that had like, do you know what I mean? A good chunk of stuff from the 60s and 70s. Like pretty much everything you need. Like 50 hours kind of a situation. But I don't think they do by the looks of it. Might have to be a dark web situation. Go to that dark web. No. You can get like St. Louis wrestling. There is collections of that. Shots coming in by Jada. Pressure. Old school wrestling. As I said, you can get a set of all of the Coliseum home videos in like a 10 like anthology. It's something like, I don't know how many discs, loads of Blu-ray discs. And as we said, I've not bought it. Don't anyone go coming after me. I didn't buy it. I just saw it. But I was thinking of buying it because it looks really good. And it's all the Coliseum home videos from the 80s and the 90s. Ah, Jada comes crashing down on Gigi. Everything is done for us. I feel I am missing something in a good way. Daze, I agree on an R-Truth point. He is a genuinely funny guy, said Big Time. But there does come a point where it is one time too many. And then it loses its appeal. Yeah, and I think that that's going to be a different stage for different people, you know? It's happening enough whereby I can comment about it and say that it's a concern. It's not happened enough where it's a problem for me yet. But it's happened. I like him. I mean, who doesn't like him is awesome. So it's certainly no shade, but yeah, let's not overdo it. Gigi going into the corner. Gacy, Djack, loser leaves NXT, said James. You could do it. You could do it. I mean, I'd think that Djack would have to lose because he is much further along the road to being ready for the main roster. But that would be a way, wouldn't it? That would be a way of getting him up to the main roster. Right, Ariana Grace has come out. She is looking exacerbated. Clothesline there by Gigi. Kick coming in. Jada goes down to her knees. Ariana Grace on the outside is... I don't know what her problem is. Why is she so upset? Oh, man, that was a nasty chop there by Gigi. Nasty chop. Ariana Grace on the outside of the ring is pleading away, I think, for these two to stop fighting. She grabs the arm of Gigi, pleads with Gigi to stop. Headbutt by Gigi. Damn. That was moody, wasn't it? She's pleading with her to stop. She got headbutted. Shot coming in there by Jada. 1, 2, 3. Jada gets the upset win over Gigi Dolan thanks to Ariana Grace. Yeah, and Ariana Grace is like, oopsie. Oopsie. Made a boo-boo, didn't she? Jada dealt with that pressure. Right, all time. Great. Good. But there we go. Ariana Grace on the outside with Gigi in the corner. Pleading. We have to come together. What's she on about? What's this woman on about? Ask no quarter, give none. What's that jacket all about? Right, coming up next is the NXT Heritage Cup match. Drew Gulak in a fancy entrance jacket. As we have got about 25 minutes left to go. Big Time said Gigi fell from grace. Lonest reign dominant champion in NXT to jobber status. Carmen Live said Daze this afternoon I made my return to Calumet Bakery. That's quite grand, isn't it? That's a grand way of saying it. I made my... In my mind, you walked into the bakery and you were like, I've made my return. Did you return like Sean Spears returned? Did you have the hood up? Was it one of them? And did the bakers all go like, it's Carmen Live too? I made my return. I made my return to the Calumet Bakery in Illinois. And for dinner tonight, I went to the Texas Roadhouse. Sounds nice. What did you have? What did you have? I need to know what you had at the bakery and if they were shocked. And I need to know what you had from the Roadhouse. Thank you. William said, we respect a woman's right to bare her breasts just the same as we do men. That's true. Equality. We're all about equality. Very little goes right with the women's division, said Real. Big Time said, no way they're closing out NXT with a Drew Gulak faction match against Noam Dar. Jim said, what caused your father to lose interest in wrestling? Well, to be honest, I think it was growing up. I think in the UK, everyone used to watch it because, as we said, there was only like 2 or 3 channels. And I think that as a result of that, you were sort of not forced to watch it, but it was kind of like there wasn't really anything else to watch. So everyone used to watch it. And it's one of those where if everyone is watching something and everyone's talking about something, you know, there's a good chance that you're going to want to be in on the conversation as well. And certainly at that time where I'd imagine my dad was quite young, certainly in the 60s, going into the 70s, you know, everyone was watching at that time. There wasn't as many channels. Everyone would talk about it at school and at work and, or, you know, what you think of such and such. And, you know, it really was a big deal. It really was. I mean, you could speak to, I could have spoke to my grandparents about it. I never did, actually, but I could have. And they would have told me like who they used to enjoy watching. I could have spoke to my dad about it. I have. My mom confirmed that she used to watch it as well. I mean, it really was, it was cheap programming for television in the 60s and the 70s. And I think that was true in America, and it was certainly true here in the UK. But the thing is, when you grow up and you get that little bit older, it's just, I don't know, you sort of grow out with it. And I think that's true of WWE. I think there is I don't even know if I can say the majority, but I don't know if that's unfair, but I feel like the majority probably grow out of WWE. Which is weird, because I think there's plenty around to keep people watching, like, that are our age. I mean, I don't watch it and feel like I'm watching a kid's show. You know, I watch it and I enjoy what I am seeing. There's drama, there's twists, there's turns. You know, you look at someone like Karrion Kross, you know? You look at someone like Rhea Ripley. I don't feel like I'm watching things that are aimed at kids. Yeah, all right. I might look at someone like, say, Liv Morgan. Or I might look at someone a bit like Alexa Bliss with the Lily doll. And, you know, them kind of things I look at and I go, I don't think they're really aimed at me. But, you know, I look at someone like the Creed brothers. And I don't see someone that's aimed at children. I just think the truth is that you kind of, you watch it when you're a kid. You chat about it with your mates. And then when you get older, you know, you move on to other things, don't you? Life just sort of progresses and moves on. So I think it was just nothing more than that, to be honest. I think it was nothing more than that. We've got a beach. It says, see you soon. And that has got to be Sol Ruka, hasn't it? Whenever I think Roadblock. So she did come back. I think there was some house show footage of her. An asylum match has been made. Next week on Roadblock, an asylum match. It's going to be Djack versus Joe Gacy. Hey, an asylum match. Is that where it's a cage and then you've got the weapons above? Wasn't that an Ambrose asylum match? Do you remember him and Jericho? Like years and years and years ago. Mitch the Plant. Right. We've got Jada was just in action. Jada was just in action against Gigi. We need to move on because we've got our next match about to start. Well, that'll be good. I had grilled barbecue chicken, steak fries, applesauce, sweet tea. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Carmen, shout out to you, but I am jealous of what you had. Right, no quarter catch crew making their way down. We don't know. I don't think we know, do we, who the challenger is? It's one of these guys. I'm really high on Miles Bourne. I like the look of Miles Bourne. Her athleticism has been missed. I love Alexa and Lily together, says Alexa Bliss Gamer. Right, here is Noam and Oro. No sign of Jakara and Lash. That's what she said. Said, I was 10 years old when I saw my first wrestling match, and it was Hogan, Iron Sheik. Oh, my God. It's amazing. That's kind of like the birth, isn't it, really? Do you know, someone asked me the other day. Yeah. I was just thinking, was it in the opinions video? I don't think it was. I wish it had been. It was great. Great question. And that was, if UFC start inducting matches... No, if WWE start inducting matches into the Hall of Fame, like UFC do, what should be inducted? And I love that question. Love that question. And I forget who asked it, but they were like, what would your answer be, Daze? And why would it be Hulk versus Andre at WrestleMania 3? And I was like, damn it. Damn it. I mean, that is the only correct answer. That is the match that should go in. That is, to me, I've said before, that is wrestling. Charlie Dempsey is going to be the opponent. Oh, this will be good. Charlie Dempsey taking on Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. That'll be good. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory having a go. So, yeah, I definitely would think of Hogan Andre. But the other match I would think would be that one with Hogan Iron Sheik. Because that starts WrestleMania, doesn't it? I know that people will argue that there are moments that are maybe bigger than Hogan and Andre being face to face. For me, there isn't. For me, that is the absolute pinnacle of professional wrestling. That moment that Hogan and Andre are face to face before that match at WrestleMania 3, I don't think anything will be bigger than that for me in wrestling. That is a monster heel, a monster face, the biggest stage. Two of the, Andre, in Andre's case, just one of the coolest wrestlers we've ever had. And Hulkamania was running absolutely rampant. It was not, it wasn't at that point where people had started turning on him. He was red hot. Every ingredient, even Bobby Heenan being involved, every ingredient was perfect. It was perfect. It's perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing. It's perfect. So I don't see how that match doesn't go in. It has to. And then the start of Hulkamania. And then, you start going through your Shawn Undertaker, your Bret Hart, Steve Austin, your Undertaker, Mick Foley. You start working your way through the others. But it would be good, wouldn't it? If they started putting matches in, it would be good. It's another way of getting some big names to attend, isn't it? Because all of a sudden, it's another way of Undertaker going in the Hall of Fame. It's another way of Ric Flair going in the Hall of Fame. It's another way of Stone Cold going into the Hall of Fame. Because if you put Stone Cold and Bret Hart in, then both of them get to go and say a few words. I don't know why they don't do it. Makes total sense. It makes the Hall of Fame even more star-studded. Noam Dar against Charlie Dempsey. Oh my God, what a pin. Wow, an amazing pin there by Charlie Dempsey. A round one pin. He had Noam Dar kind of twisted up in all kinds of trouble there. Daze, what do you think of the New Day Imperium? I thought it was a lot of fun. It was the highest rated match from the community, and I totally understand why. Noam Dar, Charlie Dempsey for the Heritage Cup. Yeah, man. Right, we've got Charlie Dempsey coming straight out of the gate. He pins Noam in round one, and he's all over him at the start of round two. Knee coming in there by Charlie Dempsey. He went right into that crucifix bridge, said Malik. The pin he did was cool. That pin was sweet, said Mitchell. Richard said Roxanne attacked Jakara again. Noam Dar spits venom. That's what she said when Hogan won the championship from Sheik, it was national news. That's how I saw it. The news stations played the match. It was short because it was short. Really? It was national news. Hulk Hogan winning against the Iron Sheik. I didn't know. That's cool, that is. That's cool. Do you know what matches would be good to put in? Those kind of matches that don't get enough love. Do you know what I mean? I think it's easy to kind of talk about like WrestleMania matches, but what about Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson beating the Wild Samoans? Because that was, I believe, the first time that we had black tag team champions. And actually, that might have been the first black champions we had at all in WWE. So, I mean, that has to go in. It doesn't get spoken about all that much. Or the strap match, you know, that one gets spoken about a little bit more with Greg Valentine and Slaughter, was it? So, like, or the Slaughter match that he had with Iron Sheik. The what was the word? The boot match, the camp boot match, whatever. That kind of like just wild brawl. Some of those, or what about the Iron Man match from like SmackDown with Brock? You know, there's some absolutely incredible matches. What about flipping Brett 1-2-3 Kid? You know, would that go in? That was like, I remember that being the match, man. When everyone used to talk about that as like, you know, the hidden match. What about Bret Hart, Tom McGee? That match as well, the lost classic that they finally found a few years ago and put it onto the network. That was where like everyone was saying Tom McGee was going to be this next big star because of how amazing his match was with Bret Hart. And then it didn't turn out to be that way. Tom McGee couldn't really recreate that match. I think it was more down to Bret's greatness, to be honest. Bret, with the ability to make people look good, made this Tom McGee look good. Everyone was buzzing about him, and he couldn't live up to it, but they couldn't find the match, and so it was this absolute lost classic, and then they found it, and it's on the network now, and you can watch it, and it is good. I Quit match, Magnum Tully said, A. Jobson. The boot camp match, yes, said that's what she said. Hogan, Yokozuna. What, from, which one? WrestleMania 9 or King of the Ring? Do you know, that really is the death of Hulkamania for me. Although, obviously, Hulkamania does come back, so I suppose it doesn't really kill it. But when he came back, I was in a much different place. You know, as a kid, that was it. I never watched Hogan in WCW when I was a kid. So to me, when he loses at King of the Ring, that's it. Hulkamania got killed. And it was Yokozuna and the flash of that camera that killed him. I know it lived on WCW, but it was dead to me. And then by the time he came back, I was older. I was an adult. Right now, Charlie Dempsey, we are in round 3. Is trying to find that second fall. Of course, if Charlie gets this second fall, then that is it, baby. We are done. He's got a triangle into a Dar trying to grab a hold of an arm, trying to grab a hold of a leg. Dar just grabbing a hold of different limbs. Now there's an ankle lock, middle of the ring. Dempsey has got an ankle lock applied. Roll through by Noam Dar. Noam Dar's back up on his feet. He tries to roll up Dempsey, who kicks out. Dempsey trying to get back up to his feet as Noam Dar comes over. Pushed to the midsection. Uppercut coming in there by Dempsey. Double underhooks. Oh, beautiful suplex. Goes over into a dragon sleeper. Look at that. Guillotine being applied. And now he's grabbing a hold of the armbar. Amazing. Brilliant mat-based work here by Dempsey. Elbows coming into the side of the heads. 1, 2. Kick out there by Dempsey. Back up to their feet. Swing and a miss. Ah! Big shot there by Dar. Armbar. That was great how he managed to get him down there. Some really great stuff happening here between these two. Charlie Dempsey, the ace of NXT. That's what they called him when he went over to Japan. The ace of NXT. I'm surprised they've not kept that, you know. Surprised they've not kept that. It would be pretty cool if he was called the ace. Amazing match so far, said Vince Austin. Shot coming in there by Noam. Working on the arm. Goes down. No, I'm trying to grab a hold of the leg. We got 10 seconds left of round number 3. Bridge, big suplex. Noam up, goes against the ropes. Back elbow. End of the round. BBB Yipsy, shout out to you. I've had to drive 1,400 miles the last 2 days. Oof. Did you hear the song Problems? What did you think? I didn't. I will write it down. Didn't you say that it would be good music for someone? Face-to-face coming up next. So we are getting the face-to-face between Dragunov and Carmelo. Right, we are back underway. Round number 4. Noam versus Charlie Dempsey. Back elbow. Kick. Lovely switch kick. Into the corner goes Noam. Inzaguri. Down goes Charlie. 1, 2, 3. And it's all even. 1 fall each. Big smile on the face of Noam Dar. 1-1. 1-1. For Liv Morgan, says I will give it. I've written it down. I've got it jotted down. Mitchell said I've sent you a super chat. Thank you. I will have a look in a second. William said, Daze, no one has sent you a super chat. There's no need to look. Oh my God, I'm being lied to. That is so Mitchell. Right, we got Noam up top. Collides into the back of Charlie Dempsey. 1 fall now. Whoever gets the next fall wins the match. And to be honest, this feels like it needs to end relatively quickly because I'm sure we're going to have a commercial break and we know that we've got a face-to-face coming up as well. Now we got Miles Bourne jumping up on the edge of the ring. Oro hurled into the ring post. Back elbow there by Noam. Noam thinks that he's got this one in the bag. Damon Kemp just gets walloped. Oh, drop kick. Down goes Drew Gulak. Charlie Dempsey. Snapdragon bridge. 1, 2, 3. Charlie Dempsey wins. Charlie Dempsey. No. Wow. New Heritage Cup champion. Charlie Dempsey. Wow. Hey, do you know what? With the Shawn Spears moment, a new champion, some decent action. I mean, some of the matches, I know a lot have been short, but anyone else think this has been a better NXT than what we've had recently? Look at this, new champ. New champ. Oh my God, Lash has come out. She's like, what's going on? Charlie Dempsey has got the Heritage Cup in his hands. There is Ilja Dragunov. Right, let's do the poll for that match. What did you think about that? I thought it was pretty fun. Obviously, the big talking point so far tonight, the return of Shawn Spears. Brittany's brother. Days, I've tweeted you that Casey Lee, aka Peyton, has tweeted "Home Sweet Home." Oh my God! Do you reckon he could go in and have a word about bringing the Iconics back? This will be worth it just for that. If he can get to Triple H or get to someone and just say, "Look, can we bring back my wife and Billy?" All of a sudden, this could be the greatest signing in the history of signings. Mitchell said, the ring announcer's hair looks like Pac-Man. The ring announcer's hair looks like Pac-Man. Has it got a bit cut out, has it? I'll have a look. If anyone's got an image of that, feel free to ping it over. What's her name? Alicia Taylor. Can we get an image of Alicia Taylor? Is she looking like Pac-Man? Is Alicia Taylor looking like Pac-Man this evening? I'm the Pac-Man. Skibbity-biddy-bum, Scatman jump. Scatman jump. I don't have an image of her from tonight, unfortunately, but I will try and see what we can find. Batman, there we go. Taylor Swift dad is crazy, said Mr. Quake. TLA said, Daze, do you think the Iconics have got a chance of returning? Maybe. I mean, look, I think the reason why Billie Kay went was because Kevin Dunn didn't really see the humor in her. But I think he was one of the only people on the planet. So, I don't know. I mean, we can't be bringing everyone back, of course, so... And they've got families now, so, you know, would they even want to return? You know, their priorities have changed, haven't they? I mean, yeah, you can take your kids on the road. Becky does it, but that's not the life for everyone. So, I don't know. I don't think really anything changes, if I'm going to be really honest, but I'd like it if it did. I really liked them. Billie Kay, more than Peyton Royce, of course. Billie Kay was genuinely funny. I mean, everyone loves what Chelsea Green's doing. I feel like Billie Kay was doing that. Do you remember when she was in the Riot Squad and she was all dressed in punk? I'll always remember her coming down to the ring with Liv and Ruby, and she was like... trying to act as punk as she could. And her resume, of course. Every time someone came out at the Rumble, she was giving them her resume. Trying to recruit them, trying to get them to help her out. She was good. She was funny. She was, I mean, she was Chelsea Green. I don't know why we got rid of her. I really don't. So I'd love to see her back, but I don't think that's possible. But we'll see. We can live in hope, can't we? I would still buy, if they started selling out of the blue Billie Kay resumes, I would buy one. I've always wanted one of them. I always wanted a Billie Kay resume. I think it was Natalia that got a picture of one and actually showed what it said. Like it was properly written up on the back as a resume, and there was an image of what it actually said on it that was doing the rounds. I saw the Iconics. They've had green card issues. Oh, did they? Have they? Stupid America. You've only got yourselves to blame, eh? Oh, here he is. Sean Spears. I like Rich Holland. But he's been lying to himself. The truth. I'll see you next week. The truth can bring you to your knees. Here's Roxanne. No. Right, well, next week we got Bron Breakker, Baron Corbin against Chase U. Tag Team Championship match. Lovely, lovely. We got the Asylum match next week. Lovely, lovely. We're going to be hearing from Sean Spears more next week. Lovely, lovely. Kabuki Warriors taking on Lyra and Tatum. Lovely, lovely. Oh, God, we're eating good next week. We are eating so good next week. Here is Ilja. I feel like we deserve this. We deserve this. I feel like we've watched a lot of NXT shows that have just been okay, passable. We deserve this. We deserve next week. I'm so pleased for us. Look at us, eh? Look at us. Who'd have thought it, eh? Right, here's Carmelo making his way down. Chase U, NXT Tag Team Champion, said Alka Meltzer. Big Time said people really underestimate the sheer dub that WWE got with Netflix. Don't get me wrong, they have international fans, but the accessibility is a problem because of BT or fights. People underestimate the dub that they've got. Don't get me wrong, they have international fans, but the accessibility is a problem because of how really used BT or Fight. I don't know what that means. I agree. Going on to Netflix, I think it's a bold move, and no one quite knows how it's going to play out. But yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's see. As you said, a lot of people are subscribed to it. So I don't know the numbers, though. Like, if you was to look at USA Network and you was to look at BT and you used to have a look at all the other various places you get access to Raw, how does that relate to Netflix? I've got to think you're right that there's more people on Netflix than there is that go onto USA Network. You know, the average traffic for USA Network, the average traffic for BT and whatever. Netflix feels like a good move. Might not work though. I mean, really, we are taking a step into the unknown, but they will have run their numbers. I've no doubt about that. It's a calculated risk. Okay, we've got a table in the ring. Last week you said you would take my soul. I'm a lot colder about how I do things. That match coming out great, look. Well, it's actually tied. But Great must have edged it because Great was at the top, so it must be that Great came out on top. It must be like 42.7 to 42.2, you know. So yeah, it does come out great, even though it is the exact same number as the good. Here's the Don. The Don is making his way down. The Don said that it's time for him to take that next step. So the Don is here. Getting into the ring. Excuse me, gentleman and lady. I need to be in this conversation. If you say one more word, I'm going to have my security guards take you out of here. There's only one Don. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Don clicks his fingers and Carmelo's security just walk away. There's only one Don round here. Man, look at that. He outmaneuvered him. That's... Oh, come on. Come on, that's sick. That's sick. That's sick. There's only one Don round here. And the security walk away. Oh, God. Melo's playing checkers. Tony's playing chess. That was sick. That was brilliant, said Brony. He's took Ava's chair. Do not speak when I am talking. Carmelo tried to say something. The Don just shut him down. This is a great segment for Tony. Mr. Dragunov, you dress like a champ. You're a bit too dramatic for me. I'm here to show the world. Tony D'Angelo is the man that wants to take the title from you, not Carmelo Hayes. So what we do in Triple Threat? Oh, right, okay. Tony's going to earn a title match for Stand and Deliver. A man that's willing to work for his position, I can respect that, says Ilja. Are we getting Ilja on the Raw after WrestleMania? That'd be sick, man. Carmelo Hayes against Tony D'Angelo. Winner faces Ilja Dragunov. It's up to Dragunov, though. Why not just face Carmelo for the title and then we'll do Tony and Carmelo a week later? So Dragunov says, deal, so what? Dragunov's not going to defend now. What's this? Tony's just robbed us of a title match. Yeah. Carmelo's like, what? This is a coward of a chat. Yeah, I do agree. It's not a good look, is it, really? I mean, you can't accuse Dragunov of running from a fight. Even I'm not going to say that. But it is wild that the babyface champion has just been said, do you want to defend your belt or do you want to not defend your belt? And he's basically gone, oh, I'd rather not defend, thanks. I mean, we could have done the title match and then we could have done the #1 contenders match after. Tony gets planted through the table. Someone was going through the table. And it was Tony. Mello signs the contract then. You still suck is the chant. You still suck. You still suck. He grabs the belt, so Ilja is down. He chucks the belt on Ilja. Okay, so Tony is still down. I'm getting the poll sorted now. What did you score? NXT. What was the date today? It was the 27th. Thanks for watching. Our program is now concluded. Well, I think that was a better offering than what we've had recently. I think that was a better offering, but it's not about what I think, it's about what you think. We'll see what you lot thought. Okay. The poll is live. If you go over to Wrestling Daze Clips, the second channel that no one can find. In fact, though, I can, whilst I'm over there, what I need to do is go... I never use this channel. Let me go... I need to get back into mine, don't I? There we go. Yes, I'll put in the chat. I will put in the code so that you can find it, because people can never find this. Let's click on that. Let's go. Boom. You can put your scores in this chat, but if you want to put it in the official one, go over to Wrestling Daze Clips, and in the chat right now... Boom. There you go. I'll pin it as well. That's the link that you need. Did we get the scores? We did. So we've got all the scores. So getting your thoughts. Big Time said what I meant was how many really use TNT and Fight TV unless you're already a wrestling fan. But if you're trying to reach more non-wrestling fans, then Netflix could provide that. I agree. Carmen Live said Days beside First Christian Church. And Lighthouse Baptist Church. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, dude. BB Yipsy said, imagine R-Truth with his resume. That would be priceless. The last employer would be the Judgment Day. Chasey with a 9. Mr. Quake with a 7.5. Prince Moolah with an 8.5. Mr. Quake, shout out to you. A. Jobson says Days 4 matches have been announced for Roadblock. I guess as well as a Sol Ruka return. Spears against Ridge. Oba against Jensen. Oba Jensen was teased, yeah. And it's weird, isn't it? Because Oba was looking at Ilja tonight, and Jensen is coming off a loss. So I agree, it looks like we're going to go that way. I don't give Jensen any chance of winning, but he might be able to look good in defeat. Philip said it's hard to find the channel. I usually have to find it at some point. Well, that's why hopefully the link will help you out a little bit. Amin said, do you think The Rock will respond to Cody's challenge this Friday? Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there will be. I mean, The Rock's not going to back down, is he? I mean, I don't know quite what we're going to get to. A lot of people are thinking tag match, which does make sense. William said, will you make a kissy face for Austin? I think Austin has had more than enough out of me over the years, thank you. Big Time said it feels like NXT finally got some smoke lit up their backside after weeks of coasting. Worth noting, last week did 616, the lowest since July. Any more coasting and you're in the 500,000s. Well, maybe that was what did it. I mean, I suppose they didn't need to worry too much because they knew that Roadblock was on the way and they knew what they were doing for that. They probably could have set up some of the matches a bit more, and you know, we could have done a bit more last week. I mean, it has been in a bit of a lull, and it's tricky because you don't want to be like disrespectful because people enjoyed the show, but we're only comparing NXT to itself or comparing it to SmackDown and Raw, and SmackDown and Raw has been clear of NXT for a little while, and NXT last year when we were trying to get that TV deal was clear of where we've been at the moment. But, you know, it's got its audience. Its audience seems to be around that 600,000 mark. And we know that there'll be enough special shows and building up to big shows where you'll always, you know, pick it up and boost it. So I suppose they looked at it and went, well, maybe we can coast for a few weeks. Perhaps we can use, not coast, but maybe we can use this time to get over some of that newer talent, you know, which you do have to do, unfortunately. But if you are going to do that, can you balance it with some really juicy stuff as well? I mean, I suppose technically last week they did try to give us Shotzi against Lyra, but problem with that was it was taped and everyone knew the result and knew the injury and everything. So, like, that wasn't really much of a surprise, was it? That would have been a lot better if it had been a live show. If it had been a live show, that would have been a lot better. But, you know, it is what it is. They're always going to be aware of the ratings. They're always going to be aware when they need to give it a little pickup. You know, the last people that want to see the ratings crash are going to be them. So I've no doubt that if ever it gets to a danger zone, there'll be a little tickle. Rock Rat Zero said, do you think there's any chance of a title change before WrestleMania? I'm going to the March 15th SmackDown. I mean, there could be some title changes before. It's not impossible. But I would think at this point we're probably locked in. Unless there is some last minute little jiggery pokery. But, I mean, Roman ain't losing his belt. Io ain't losing hers. Logan ain't losing his, so I can't see anything on the SmackDown side. Gunther won't lose his. Seth maybe, just because we don't quite know if he's going to be in a tag match and the match with Drew. So I am looking at that thinking maybe there needs to, you know, there could be something there. That, you know, if he does get cleared, you know, could we see Damian cash in? You know, could it be Sammy versus Drew versus Damian for the World Heavyweight Championship match? And then that means that it's Seth Cody against Rock Roman on night one, you know? So Seth, maybe there's a chance. Rhea won't lose hers. Well, I don't believe she'll lose hers. Io won't lose hers because she's going to be facing Bayley. Logan won't lose his. Roman clearly ain't losing his. Gunther ain't losing his. So it's maybe Seth and the tag team belts, but I think at this point we might be locked in. I have tweeted you a couple of things. Thank you. I need to go, actually, and obviously catch up with that. At least with Netflix, WWE is going to get exact viewership numbers instead of the made-up ones, said Triton. Yeah, and they won't really be issued to the fans, so the fans are going to miss out. All those people that love the ratings updates, there's no guarantee that they'll get them now from Netflix. The NXT premiere on CW could actually top 1 million if they load it up like Super Tuesday when they did 9-1 on cable against AEW. Yeah. Tony D beating Ilja would be good for him. Shows how much Sean respects him. He's let him beat Ciampa and Santos before. You really think Roman retains at WrestleMania? No, we're talking about before WrestleMania. Looks like a stacked unseen tonight. Could be good, Star. Yeah, could be good. There was already a few interesting bits because there's a great Chad Gable, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen. But people that have been at work, whatever, might not have seen that. So we've got that in there. And there's a few other bits and rumours. Obviously, the Drew contract drama. Sean Spears coming back. I mean, I want all the reaction to that, so I do need to go. I do need to go and start work on that because it's going to take a couple of hours anyway. So, right, with that, I think we will wrap it up there. So a big thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I think this was a better offering, but wow, we've only got big shows now. I mean, on Friday, Rock and Roman on SmackDown is going to be huge, right? Then next week's Raw should hopefully be a bit more of a show than what we got this week. I think this week, as we said, a little bit of a hangover from the fact they had to travel back from Australia. And then next Tuesday, we've got Roadblock. So we've got a real good weekend coming up. So very much looking forward to this weekend. So, yeah, appreciate the support as always, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to run off and work on Unseen. It'll probably be up in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It normally takes that long now to go through everything, but it will be up. I'll be working on it, and it'll be good when it goes up because there's plenty that's gone on today. That Sean Spears one, I want to see what people are saying, man. I'm excited to see what the reaction is, see what Bailey thinks and everyone thinks on social media. So, yeah, appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.